Did you ever think you would make it? I feel I'm so close I could taste sweet victory. I know this life meant for me.
Adam, what's your point? The future looks bright.
My handshake is better than anything I ever saw. It's right here.
You are a one-of-one?
My son's right there.
I don't think I've ever said this before.
All right, so today we have a special podcast because we got 5 people on the podcast. And we have a wager to see who's going to speak the most. According to Kalshi, Adam's going to get the most minutes on stuff that he's going to be talking about. And he's going to be given the longest answers, Vinny. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Really?
Yeah. You know, that's the one thing about, because his vocabulary is so wide range.
His vernacular?
Contemptible.
Don't be contemptible, PBD.
Sleazy. Like, these,
Got it.
he has such a wide
Anything
range
with a
of,
bag towards the end.
He says constituents a lot.
Oh, he is like legendary with his English.
guys.
By the way, he used to be a substitute teacher. You guys know that? For
did.
PE. He was a PE substitute teacher. What does that mean if you're like a PE substitute teacher? Like you're not that good at work.
sub?
Was it a PE substitute?
I was
Grade?
I was a second grade teacher for a year. I started off as a substitute.
How many times?
I did it all, but I was
By
doing
the way,
art, wood shop.
How do you do a PE second grader substitute teacher for PE? How do you?
It's easy. Just
I've
run around and don't get lost.
Never heard that
And
before.
how many times do you think they said when a kid said this? Mr. Sosnick, what's your point? He's like, just stretch. Stretch it out.
All right, let's go
Timmy.
into the stories. We got some funny things I will share later on about a Matthew I met yesterday. Little Matthew. We'll talk about him
little
later
guy?
on. But-
Little
All right,
Matthew.
so let's go through it. So Florida AG probes JP Morgan Chase over alleged debanking of Trump media. Trump says American dream is surging back to life under his presidency. At Miami Forum, Trump is set to propose opening California coast to oil drilling. By the way, did you guys see the Laura Ingraham interview with Trump? Tom, did you see it? Did you see the whole thing between the two of them? I thought it was phenomenal.
I only saw one clip where they got a little sparky.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I like Little Sparky from high school. Yeah, from Burbank 13. But bloody brawl breaks out as agitators protest TPUSA event at UC Berkeley in California. Government shutdown live updates. We'll talk about that. Rob, is it open yet, or they're voting today at the House, right?
Today.
Senate, yeah. Okay,
today at
Senate
4
passes
o'clock.
bill to end government shutdown, sending it to the House. Trump threatens to dock pay of absent air traffic controllers. Private jets blocked from many U.S. airports amid shutdown curbs. These freaking private jets
I'm tired,
flying. You know, what was that one guy's name? 2 claps and a Ric Flair. What does he say? Woo! What, do you remember his whole line was?
Oh, yeah, Mazzapalli used to do that for that thing. It says, 2 claps, give me 2 claps and a Ric Flair.
Boom, boom. Woo! But then he would say something about private jets. But to all of you that fly private jets, you can wait, bro.
Yeah.
Stop being so pompous and contemptible and arrogant. You can wait, you private jet type of people. These
The
rich people
sanctimonious
annoy
PBD.
the hell out of me, these rich people. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Seriously,
I hear
like
you.
get it together. Corporate America posts best earnings in 4 years despite tariffs. Trump warns Supreme Court tariff ruling could trigger 3T unwind. U.S. household debt hits a new record. Massive. We'll talk about that. New Yorkers hunt for homes outside the city as living costs soar. New York City election fears that a drive $100 million Florida real estate surge as nervous New Yorkers flee south. Listen, Palm Beach, Manalapan is on fire right now with the stuff that they're getting, the calls that they're getting. More car buyers are stretching out their auto loans. So instead of, by the way, when you get a car loan, maybe we'll ask this question as a poll later on, whether you do 60, 72, 84, or 96. Just keep that in mind. We'll do it on how long you do your car payments. We'll ask you guys, see what the audience will say. Car repossessions trend shows chilling echo of 2008 crisis as economists warn of more dominoes to fall. Daily Mail. Besson says new rare earth factory will cut costs, break China's chokehold in the industry. Gold prices seen topping $5,000 at the end of 2026, JP Morgan says. AI technology race is new Cold War between U.S. China. It's getting serious, by the way. Bless you. Democratic senators blame White House. They blame White House AI data centers. Here you go. For rising, Adam, take this. For electricity prices. Big Short, Michael Burry accuses AI hyperscalers of artificially boosting earnings Paramount reports streaming growth in first earnings since Skydance. Bari Weiss is looking at another person. You guys ready? Who's Bari going after? By the way, I negotiated Bret Baier's contract on air. It was awesome. And officially, we're going into a new business, by the way. I don't know if you know or not.
Agency?
This guy would be one hell of an
Oh,
agent.
my God. Adam would be the best.
By the way,
Got you. I'm gonna get you guys paid.
we're actually not joking. You would actually be a very good agent.
Sign me up.
But Bari Weiss on CBS is going after a new contact, and I kind of like it, what they're doing. Cool. I kind of like it. If she gets it, this is big. I'll tell you. We'll read the story.
SJ?
Yeah, yes. Bret Baier responds to a report of interest from CBS. I'm signed on to Fox. Very happy at Fox. And there's a bunch of other things going on. Podcasting diversity problems. 64% of hosts are male. 77% are white.
What, man?
You gotta put the what? You gotta put the what in there.
We're part of the 23.
It's true.
Me,
telling you right now.
Hey, homie, we brown. He's brown and down, homie.
But I do have 2 white boy sons, though. One of them is full. Now, you know what? I don't know.
You guys are half white.
You think they're more white or Middle Eastern?
No, they're Middle Eastern. They're more.
Machleta, listen.
Machleta, you.
First of all, my oldest wears flip-flops like an Armenian does with his toes out all the time.
And now he has glasses that are tinted. He's Armenian.
For sure. And
he's
then
Middle
Dylan,
Eastern.
Dylan is his personality temperament is full on. Yeah. He's full on Middle Eastern.
100%.
Those G's aren't in there.
But Tico's kind of almost like a Middle Eastern bird.
Brooklyn's Middle Eastern. To the most Middle Eastern. Senna's a white girl.
Senna's a white girl.
You know Senna's like Jen.
Senna's true. I agree. We'll do that. All right. Report DOJ sending Senator Panel Clinton corruption files. Damn. Lefty California lawmaker, drag queen advocate, defense trans white beater in LA. Oh, did you see that lesbian? Rob, do you have that clip of her?
Oh, yeah.
She crushed it.
You know who the
way.
guy is?
Who?
The Senator Wiener? Oh, wait till I tell you about who this guy is.
Ooh.
All the wieners. You notice all the wieners are weird.
Yeah. But you know what happens, though?
What? He's in the community.
If you tell somebody, you're awesome, you're amazing, you're smart, it's like they eventually believe it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine for 25 years being called a wiener?
It's got to do something to you.
It has to.
It has to do something to you. Like imagine even your girl you're dating. Like she jokes about it when you're just by herself.
Yeah.
You little wiener.
Where's my little wiener?
It can mess with your head a little bit.
Wiener.
Both of them.
Well, some people lean into it. Like, you ever met a guy named Richard? He doesn't go by Rich or Ricky or Ricardo. Hey, call me Dick.
Hassan Piker declares, I don't have any patriotism for America while streaming from, where was he?
China, Tiananmen Square.
Is this the one that something happened
and
to?
He got harassed by
communism bites back.
I love it. He's trying to act like it was all cool. Good for you, bro. Good for you.
All right, so writer named Jihad arrested for assault after Antifa violence at Berkeley, TPUSA. A lot of stuff going on, guys. We're going to try to do all these stories in 30 minutes, folks. I hope you're ready for it, all right? So, with that being said, let me tell you what's going on today. We haven't done this in a while, so this is probably going to go in 30 minutes. We have a new hat that we've been working on for months, and it's officially here in 2 colors. Each are limited, numbered. Out of 150, they will go like this. Having said that, here's our latest Future Looks Bright hat. Go ahead, Rob. Then you look at that. By the way, it's sick, black and white. Zilur.
That's
Cash. Damn.
Who's that guy?
Who was that male model?
Who was it actually?
Justin.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, it's not. Is that really
Justin?
Well, Justin kind of is a male model. Let's give him a little credit. Come on.
Sick.
They were going to go with Rob first.
I love it. I love it. So here's what we're doing. They're both limited, black and the white. If you order both, we're going to send you one of the shirts. The Future Looks Bright. Rob, if you can click on the link, go to it, click on the hat. I think they're numbered. It says 150. Zoom in on the hat on the side. Keep going. Oh. 150. Numbered out of 150, each one of them. So black and white. If you order both, you can pick a shirt, white or black. We'll send it to you as well. But if you want to order more than that, do so. Always remember what happens with these limited edition stuff. Rob, go to eBay if you can and just type in Future Looks Bright on eBay. Anything we do limited edition, they go within 45 minutes to an hour. Wow. In no time. Go to Future Looks Bright and then press search and then go to the right if you can search by price, highest. Okay, one more. Look at this. Look at these hats. $9,800 hat.
Stop it.
I'm telling you, number. $3,000. That's hats out of 50. So, they're numbered. They're limited edition. They end up over here for people that want to pick them up or sport them. If I'm you, like when I buy something nice, I'm going to wear them If you believe the future looks bright, go to vtmerch.com. Place your order on these hats. They're limited edition, 1 out of 150 each one of them. Get it for yourself. Get it as a gift. Christmas is around the corner. This could be something you can get for someone who's a big fan of the PBD podcast, Valuetainment, who's also optimistic, that believes the future looks bright. Having said that, let's get right into it. Okay. Rob, which story is the story that the audience wants us to go to first?
The Supreme Court $3 trillion unwind for the tariff.
And what page is that one on? Supreme Court unwind. Tom, what page is the tariff on? There it is. Supreme Court unwind.
This is the tariff story?
Yeah, this is the tariff story that we're talking about. Okay, there it is. Trump warns Supreme Court tariff ruling could trigger $3 trillion unwind. By the way, this would be the dumbest thing they ever do, okay? Ever do. If they pull this off, it'll be the dumbest thing that they could ever do if they pass this thing. President issues a warning on Monday on Truth Social, claiming that the U.S. Supreme Court received the wrong numbers in pending case that challenges the authority to impose tariffs under emergency powers. Trump said an adverse decision could lead to an economic unwind exceeding $3 trillion, calling it an insurmountable national security event that would be devastating to the future of our country, possibly non-sustainable. The High Court is set to review whether Trump's use of the International Emergency Economic Powers Act to levy tariffs on imported goods without the additional congressional approval was lawful. A ruling against Trump could require the government to refund billions of dollars in duties collected since 2024, potentially reshaping, can you turn off your phone, guys, U.S. trade policy and testing the limits of the presidential economic authority. According to Treasury data reviewed by Fox Business, the U.S. collected more than $213 billion in tariffs revenue through late September 2025, including record monthly totals of more than $31 billion in August and more than $31 billion in September. Earlier in the year, revenues ranged from $17.4 billion to $29 billion in July. Is this the president talking about it, Rob?
Yes. This is actually USA Today covering the story.
Go for it.
U.S. President Donald Trump is warning of an economic and national security disaster if the Supreme Court overturns its use of emergency powers to impose sweeping tariffs on nearly every country. Speaking Monday, Trump claimed the tariffs have generated trillions in tariff and investment income.
The numbers were reported so incorrectly. The real numbers are trillions of dollars have been taken in or gotten in terms of investment from the tariffs.
Trump had previously floated the idea of using tariff revenues to pay for what he calls a dividend to lower-earning Americans and repeated his plans on Monday.
Pause.
We're going to issue a dividend.
Hang on one second. Let him finish this part.
To our middle-income people and lower-income people of about $2,000, and we're going to use the remaining tariffs to lower our debt.
During last week's
oral
oral...
right there. So, Tom, talking about this tariffs. One, we talked about this last week. Can they do it? Obviously, they have Supreme Court control right now, which is, 6-3. Even if he loses, what's her name, Barrett, Coney Barrett, even if she goes against him, that's still 5-4. So he has the control still. But the reality of it is the fact that this is a topic of discussion they're discussing. I have a few ideas here, but I'm going to go to you first. Tom, go for it.
So here's what I see. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I can't hear me. Here's what I see. The Supreme Court could come back and say, hey, you don't have the authority under IEPA, the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. However, a good Congress would say, but are the tariffs working? Did we get some negotiation? Did we get some results here? Hang on a second. Let's keep this. That's how a functioning non-militant government would work, but that's not what we have right now. We have a very militant Congress that has a huge block of Democrats that are like, no matter what, get Trump out, hurt Trump, and they really don't care about the economy. So there is a group in there that unwinding it to create such economic calamity just to grab more seats and power at the midterms coming up in 11 months and 2 weeks, they would do it. But unwinding this would be horrible, and Trump's comment about unwinding it is true. Companies have come back and said, hey, you know what? Thanks to the tariffs, things have changed, economics have changed. We're going to invest, just this year, it was $1.5 billion we're going to invest in the U.S. to bring jobs and stuff back. Well, that's because of the tariffs and the other countries playing nice. And if you unwind it, the other countries can go back and say, well, that was easy. His own Congress just screwed him over, and they're using the Supreme Court decision. Yeah. So guess what? We can go back to playing like we used to under Biden. That would be bad. That would be really bad.
Not only would it be bad, the amount of success we've had with this, to take it back to, we get only $80 billion of revenue every year from tariffs. It's the income we got. We didn't get a lot of revenue from tariffs. Now we are at $300 billion in tariffs, potentially $400 billion trajectory to where it's going. And then it could lead into $500 billion per year. Over 10 years could be $5 trillion of revenue coming in, not including all the other people that are being forced to invest in. That's the chart, which we've looked at many times. But I will tell you what I think the president was doing. The president was playing chess with these guys when he said, I'm going to give $2,000 income to the people that are low-income earners on the tariff side. And you know what that does? So imagine, he knows if it even gets close to them pushing for this not to happen, he's going to go to the low-income and middle-income and say, they just took a couple $1,000s away from you. That's yours. They took that away from you. All the taxes they did, they took that away from you. And how do you feel about it? So he's cornering them. I'm 80%. If I were to go to Kalshi and do a, what do you call it? Whether this
open a market and see what the public thinks?
If we were to go open a market on what we think this is going to do with tariffs passing or not, I would be very optimistic about going through. Like I said, it's the dumbest thing if they don't do this, Brandon.
Yeah, this is the hill to die on. And the law's a funny thing, the way that you interpret the law. I don't even think that they have the grounds to do this because everybody's looking at tariffs as an economic issue. But no, it's a national security issue. And that's what the Constitution says, that that from an economic standpoint, it's in the power of Congress to decide what happens with tariffs. But if it's a matter of national security, then it's the president. And every single thing he's doing with tariffs is a matter of national security. Like, it's not just the $300 billion that he's taken in, it's the trillions that he's been able to negotiate and get people to invest. And think of, like, that's the main lever he's using for
the national security part.
So if we can't threaten countries with tariffs, like, we have to use another method, and it might be a weaker method, it might be a riskier, more dangerous method. So you could really make anything about national security. Like, think about all the things the CIA classifies under a matter of national security. You know, like, a lot of things like probably aren't even a matter of national security, but they could say it because it's like very vague and broad. So I think that even if they did try to do this, you know, there was a president one time that said when the Supreme Court ruled against him, he's like, all right, let them enforce it. Go ahead. You know, and it's not like the Roe v. Wade type of issue when the Democrats are mad about that. That's like a social issue. But this one, it's like, let the court enforce it if they try to do this. I don't think they will, but if they do, I don't think he's going to listen to them.
And things like chips, rare earth, and magnets are national security.
I agree. But this, to me, if it doesn't pass, it's number one catastrophic thing if it doesn't pass. If they
stop him.
I don't think you'd listen.
And I don't think he can.
No, how do they enforce it, though? It's a court.
What do you mean, how do they? Supreme Court?
Do they have an army?
No. You can't do that. That's not how this works.
He won't do that.
He needs them. He needs them because the amount of credibility, if he didn't listen to them, 2028 is a lock. Newsom's your president.
But matter of national security, though.
If I'm running against him, I'm going to tell him the guy is completely against the Constitution, has no respect for George Washington, no respect for Thomas Jefferson, no respect for Benjamin Rush. I would go straight there, and they would play that all day long. And they would say, if he's going to break the Constitution, what else is he capable of doing? Mm-hmm. Now it validates their no kings to say that's where it goes to. It's the slippery slope. I just think the way he's doing it is the right way. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I'm less than 10% that they don't do it, that they get in the way of it.
Yeah.
Less than 90% it's a done deal. And I'm hoping he keeps they have this already. Will the Supreme Court rule favoring the Trump? What are they saying? 25% chance it will is what they're saying.
That's correct.
Will they only 25%?
So 75% they won't.
Yes,
they won't reverse Trump's decision. You're saying?
No. Explain to me because I'm about to put some money on. Rob, did you just post this right now yourself?
No. I just I Googled and found this through Kalshi. So 25% of people believe the Supreme Court will rule in favor of Trump. So the other 75% against Trump.
What? Like it's not going to go.
Yeah. But there's not a lot of crowd on
zero activity. Yeah. It's zero volume. So it's not like there's anyone involved in it for this to have any credibility right now.
Here's what the Speaker of the House could do in one sentence.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if the Supreme Court says that certain tariffs here are not national security protected by IEEPA, then we'll take a resolution up here in Congress to maintain the tariffs as issued. Mm-hmm. Bang. Goes the gavel.
Yeah.
That's all the Speaker has to do.
Yeah.
Now he's got to get 60%, but now he would be putting the vote on the back of Congress. Do you see that, Pat?
Yeah.
You know what? Let's just take a vote and keep it. And now, okay, Chuck Schumer, gather up all your buddies in the House over there across the hallway.
Yep.
And say no. Say no to the American people. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Right. Yeah. Where is Mike Johnson? Why? Like he was best friends with Trump at first when he first got in, but I haven't heard a lot from him.
Isn't that's the only thing that Johnson would have to do?
Yeah.
Okay. If the Supreme Court says some of this is not national security, the ones who are national security, we leave them alone. The other ones, we vote. No problem.
Yeah.
I'm just confused. There's 9 Supreme Court justices. 6 of them are conservative, right? So what do you think that they're trying to talk to the conservative ones, the Democrats, and saying, "Hey, just trust us. Let's screw them over." He's like, "What?" I don't understand the logic in trying to destroy what this guy is building. And I get it. They hate Trump. Everything's anti-Trump. Like
that's the logic.
That's unbelievable. But mainstream media is not telling these people nothing. It's just all feelings.
Well, it all comes down.
Ever?
Yeah, exactly.
It all comes down to what the law, quote unquote, allows, right? So I was watching this debate on Fareed Zakaria. There was a Harvard law professor who specializes in tariffs, which he called, quote unquote, regulating imports, which are just tariffs. And then there was a Justice Department advocate over there basically debating, and it's all legalese, it's all law. You know, you said how lawyers are ruining America. They're hanging out in playgrounds just looking for kids that slip and fall and hurt themselves, then sue people. It's all legal stuff, which is beyond basically our understanding. But PBD made a good point. Trump's either a fascist and he doesn't listen to anybody and he just kind of does what he wants, or he actually has to abide by the rulings of the law. And the Supreme Court ruling, whether they like it or not, is going to get in their way. This is the whole premise of America, of checks and balances in the executive and the judicial and the legislative. And the whole part with the legislative, when Trump announced Liberation Day, which was in April, I believe, this has all sort of been culminating since then. So if he is a fascist, then he can't, he has to go through this. The big issue that I have a problem with, the big issue is, enough with the printing money and just giving people money. This $2,000 quote unquote dividend. So how many people are going to qualify this? 100 million people at least?
I would like him to keep it as low as possible as 10 million people.
I don't even want anybody to get this freaking money.
No, but let me tell you.
Because if 100 million people get $2,000, that's $200 billion just given to people.
Let me tell you how this works. Of course, I don't want anybody to get any kind of entitlement money. But if it came out of his mouth and he doesn't keep it, then you're playing games. It came out of his mouth. He already said it. He has to do something. Okay, now if you do it only for 5 million people, 10 million people, 20 million people, there's got to be something that goes to a certain percentage of people to say, we came through.
But who are those people?
I don't know. All I'm saying is if it came out of his mouth, he has to keep it.
Let's give it to the families with kids, take care of them, the working families.
All right, let's go to the next story.
Welfare
Let's go to the next story. Rob, can you go to the interview with Laura Ingraham and President Trump? Is this the one about the H-1B visa, about the schools, students going to China, 600,000, 300,000? Is that the one, Rob?
Yes.
Okay. So watch, because this has created a lot of conversation about the H-1B visa. It's every other channel. They're talking about this. Go ahead and play this clip, Rob.
A country like what we have right now.
And does that
the
mean
Republicans have to talk about it, Laura.
And does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we
a
have
country
plenty of talented people
no, you
here.
don't. No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here.
No, you don't have. You don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put
How did we ever do it before?
Well,
I'll
give you an example. In Georgia, they raided because they wanted illegal immigrants out. They had people from South Korea that made batteries all their lives. You know, making batteries are very complicated. It's not an easy thing and very dangerous. A lot of explosions, a lot of problems. They had like 500 or 600 people, early stages, to make batteries and to teach people how to do it. Well, they wanted them to get out of the country. You're going to need that, Laura. I mean, I know you and I disagree on this. You can't just say a country's coming in, going to invest $10 billion to build a plant, and going to take people off an unemployment line who haven't worked in 5 years, and they're going to start making missiles. It doesn't work that way.
Adam, thoughts?
So, number one, I haven't thought of Laura Ingraham. And when's the last time we said her name on the show? with something we don't talk about.
We
Respect
haven't. But
her.
by the way, I thought
Yeah.
she did a great job
No,
with the
that's-
interview. And FYI, a very weird thing I'm about to say. This is the best I've seen her in years. So I don't know what she's doing. She looked great in this interview.
That's literally what I was about to say.
Really?
I love her.
When's
Yeah, I
I'm
thought
being
she did
serious.
great.
Collectively,
I'm not.
When's the
I'm not even a fan. I'm
No.
not even a fan. I'm just telling
When's
you.
the last time we mentioned her name on the podcast?
Yeah.
I don't think
We've talked
years?
Jesse. We've talked.
Yeah.
We've talked Hannity. We've talked Bret Baier. The whole deal. Laura Ingraham. Respect to you. I haven't watched your show. It's not. I'm like an Ingraham person, but this is her first time that I've seen her on the national scene.
Yeah.
And she held her own. Do you think she's an advocate for Trump? Yes. Do you think she's mostly aligned with Trump? Yes. But this was her opportunity to say, listen, I also have a voice. I also have a spine. I have also a backbone. Let me push back against the president in a respectful manner, not to be contentious like other interviews do. So I give her credit for standing up for Trump. I think they're mostly aligned. But she did have this conversation on H-1 visa. She defended Americans. She said, you don't have the talent here. Trump said straight up, we don't. You know how long it's going to retrain people? I do believe that we should have other people from other countries with high-skilled workers that should be allowed to have H-1B visas. But respect to Laura Ingraham for basically saying, no, I want to push back on you on Fox News. So to push back against Trump, and you're a Fox News main anchor, main host, to do that, respect to you. Good job.
Yeah, and this continues, by the way, while she's going through it, Rob. And as they're going back and forth, she talks to him about the 600,000. I don't know if you have that one or
I
not.
do.
Do you have? Okay, fantastic. I was looking for it. So here's then, hey, you know, this is why we need to give 600,000. Why not 300,000? Well, the colleges wouldn't get money. It's a great exchange. Go for it, Rob.
You've said as many as 600,000 Chinese students could come to the United States. Why, sir, is that a pro-MAGA position when so many American kids want to go to school and there are places not for them, and these universities are getting rich off Chinese money?
Sure. Never said about China, but we do have a lot of people coming in from China. We always have, China and other countries. We also have a massive system of colleges and universities. And if we were to cut that in half, which perhaps makes some people happy, you would have half the colleges in the United States go out of business.
So what?
Well, I think that's a big deal.
Are they fans
You would
of,
have the
fans of the United States?
Yeah, but you would have, as you know, historically, black colleges and universities would all be out of business. You would have a system of colleges and universities would
So
go
we're
down the
dependent on
tubes.
China to keep
No,
our
not
university
China,
system
but
going?
I think it's good to have. I actually think it's good to have outside countries. Look, I want to be able to get along with the
They're
world.
not the French. They're the Chinese. They spy on us. They steal our intellectual property.
What, do you think the French are better?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll tell you, I'm not so sure. We've had a lot of problems with the French, where we get taxed very unfairly on our technology, where they put 25% taxes on American products. Look, assuming everyone treats us badly, because that's the way I am, but we take in trillions of dollars from students. You know, the students pay more than double when they come in from most foreign countries. I want to see our school system thrive. But at the same time, I know you and I disagree. We're never going to agree on it, but that's okay. And it's not that I want them, but I view it as a business. We have millions and millions of people.
He said the main word right there, Pat. When it comes to Trump, it's business. Period.
Well, I'll turn it over to you guys. Let me just say one thing. She seems more MAGA than Trump in this interview, does she not?
I don't think he has any idea what's going on here. Like, the vast majority of student or college income doesn't come from students paying to go there. It comes from the endowments. But I had the perfect idea to fix this. So 93% of student loans come from the government. Why do we give kids loans to just go and take any major? Why aren't those loans contingent upon the majors and jobs that the country needs? Like, if we have a shortage in, say, AI skills, why not just make student loans applicable only to people who are going to major in AI and not give somebody a loan to major in, like
gender
studies, art, graphic design, or like interior design, whatever stuff that is oversaturated? Why not just make it depend on if you're going to do something that's useful and that's needed in the country? If the government's the main provider of student
What a
loans.
logical point. Like, it makes sense. Here's what we need. This is what we're giving scholarships for. This is what we're funding. We're not funding fine arts. We're not funding all this other stuff. This is what America needs. Tom, your thoughts on this?
Well, during the interview, he talked about HBCUs. That stands for Historically Black Colleges and Universities, Howard and others. I was unaware that the Chinese were, swamping the HBCUs, and I was unaware that they go out of business if we stop the Chinese education visas. So on that point, I was a little confused. I think maybe it got stirred up in their talk there. That's a misspeak. That's not going to happen. The other side of it is, wait a minute, to the point that Brandon just made is, if some of them go out of business because they can't make ends meet, and yet they're all living on government grants. Yeah. Guess what? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And by the way, most of the colleges in the United States, if you look at them, there's private colleges, and then there's the public colleges, University of Florida, Florida State, FIU, FAU, USF. There's like 5 of them UCF. In Florida that all are supported by Tallahassee and regular tuition. They're supported by states. And then what do we have? What's the private schools that we have here? Bari, University of Miami. That's about it. So it's like to
Rob,
say.
Can you pull that up? So that's the breakdown of Harvard's funding. Tom, finish your thoughts on this.
Yeah,
to say,
that's my thoughts. It's like state schools are supported by states.
Yeah, here you go. This is Harvard's operating revenue 2024, 45% philanthropy. You got 21% education. Then you got federally sponsored research. Then you got non-federally sponsored research. Then you got other. Operating expenses, $6.4 billion. That's Harvard University. Interesting when you're looking at this.
So Brandon's right. 20 cents on the dollar comes from tuition.
Yeah. Here's what I want you to think about. So maybe, just maybe, because here's how Trump is. Like, for example, there are certain men in your life that are purely driven based on respect. You don't respect them, they can be very nasty. Okay, very. I relate to that. Last night I'm at this event, and I get invited to this event. They email us 2 months ago. We'd like to honor you and recognize you for something. No problem. I asked Mateo. This is at Mar-a-Lago. It's called the Big Blue Bash, Law Enforcement Today. So I said, okay, I'm going to go to this event. RFK is going to be there. Tulsi Gabbard's going to be there. Kash Patel's going to be there. Let me see who else they said is going to be there. All these names that they're saying is going to be there. And
you said Tom Homan was there?
Tom Homan was there. Kristi Noem crushed it. She did I was so impressed by Kristi Noem last night. But they had a lineup of all these speakers. About 80% of them, none of them showed up. No problem, okay? Because, sometimes they'll put that stuff to bring people in, and then we're sorry they couldn't show up. So I go to the event last night, and I'm walking up. Honestly, I totally forgot what the event's reason for me going. I'm thinking I'm just going to go support and leave. Charity, something, support and leave. Military, cops. I love cops. I love military. I love any of these guys. Homan and I had an incredible conversation. The guy was sitting next to me, federal prosecutor, incredible conversation. Talked to the Epoch Times guys, saw a bunch of our clients that are there as well. Military, Nick Freitas just crushed it on stage. Zoom in a little bit, Rob, I talked to a bunch of the guys on the bottom that they're honoring these veterans, right? All these veterans that they're honoring. Michael Flynn doing what he does as usual. Absolutely amazing. Anyways, so then it's about 8 o'clock. I'm texting Mateo, I got to go because my kids are saying, where are you at? I've been there because it started at, they said be there at like 5 o'clock, something like that. So, I got to go see the kids. Yeah, but they're running. I got to go see it. When they're saying they're doing it right after dinner. Well, they haven't done anything yet. Anyways, it's 9:45. Jeez. Then they finally are doing the recognition. At this point, kids are asleep. I
Did
got
you say 9:45?
9:45.
You wanted to leave at 8, so you're running 2 hours behind at this point.
And by the way, it's the only day for me to be with my kids because this weekend I'm at PHP. I'm going to somewhere respect my time. So I'm watching this lady, Judy, who's running the organization. One of the ladies that's running it comes, talks to me. Very classy, talks to my wife, nice person. Kyle, the guys who are on stage, is doing his thing. And then they're playing the videos for the people that recognize them, okay? They're playing these videos. And then all the videos are done, and the guy on stage, who I've had on, is funny guy, phenomenal. It's Sheriff Mark. You know what I'm talking about, Rob? Mark from Arizona, phenomenal, that we've had him on. And then he's like, and Patrick Bet-David. Mark Lamb. Yeah, he crushed it last night. And Patrick Bet-David. No video, no picture, nothing. So everybody's kind of looking around. There's like 40 people like, hey, Pat, I'm here because you're getting a recognition, all this stuff. So I walk on stage. I'm like, okay, it's probably a screw up. Maybe it's on our end. Maybe we missed the mark on something. No problem. They give it respectful. I took like 150 selfies last. I took so many pictures with people. It's awesome. Yeah. Talking to all these guys. I said, babe, we got to go. I grab Jen. We get in the car. I call Mateo. I say, Mateo, what happened over here? What was this all about? He says, what do you mean? I said, they recognized, but they just kind of said the name. There was no video, there was nothing, but they played video for everybody else. I don't know. I said, call the guy. So Nafal, who is the guy that made the recommendation with Judy for this to happen, this recognition, this award to happen last night. No problem. I call him and say, hey, what happened here? He said, I have no idea. I said, who's in charge of this? I have no idea. And I'm like, Nafal, I would have much rather you don't even recognize me. I just wanted to come, show my face, and leave at 8 o'clock so I can see my kids. You guys know how important it is for me to see my 100%. Kids. I want to come see the kids. Oh, man, I'm so sorry. Let me get this other guy on. So he gets this guy on, Matthew Silverman, with 1 T, okay? He gets on the call. And I said, he gets on this guy right here. Zoom in his picture so we can show who he is. Just zoom in on his face, please. Zoom in right there. Yeah. So this guy right here. So he gets on the call. It's me and Mateo. He says, oh, didn't you get free dinner anyways? Didn't you get a free table? Didn't you get a free seat? You got me to get off the stage right now?
What?
He's talking to me like this. This is the president of the organization.
Oh, my God.
Nafal is on the call. So is Mateo listening to this call. I said, excuse me? Did you send your videos in? Did you send your pictures in? I said, Mateo. So at this point, I'm thinking, maybe Mateo missed an email. Mateo's like, you guys never requested anything. You don't send anything. You know something? I'm like, listen, buddy. And he keeps speaking over me and Mateo. And then I'm like, guys, I'm good. You will never see my face at this organization ever again. I'm out. This guy, arrogant, pompous, probably a 5'1" type of a guy, one of those Napoleon syndrome type of guys. And
you can tell from his collar,
and then you know what he says at the end of the call? He says, how many followers do you guys have anyways?
Are you serious?
Dude! Mateo's like, wait, what did the guy just say? The amount of words I can use for this guy, I'll keep it diplomatic, okay? I can't say that one, but he is. I can't say that one, but he is. I think I can say weasel, snobby, arrogant, pompous, entitled, and horrible customer service for a person to be the president of a company that you invited. I didn't want to go. I have things to do. You invited me, and I said yes because military and cops are going to be there.
Yep.
Of how much respect I got for those guys.
And you're a veteran, and it's Veterans Day.
And it's Veterans Day week,
yeah,
right?
And then he says, you should have sent your video and the picture in. Guess what happens this morning?
What?
Nafal calls Mateo this morning because he feels like shit. Nafal was awesome. He handled it like a pro. Exactly how you're supposed to handle it when somebody's asking you tough questions. And they send the video that they were going to play. They had edited the video.
They already had it?
Vinny,
What?
this is the video that they had played that they were going to play.
And he didn't do it.
And they didn't play the video.
Wow, so they already had
What?
So the point is, he's a liar. He's a liar. So where am I going with this? This right here.
I see it.
Okay? This video that they had, the intro, all the stuff that they were, and the video is a very nice video that they were going to play. And then they say, Kristi Noem went 45 minutes over. No, she didn't. Kristi Noem spoke 10 or 15 minutes, and she crushed it. She was awesome, Kristi Noem.
As if you weren't there and you didn't witness it?
Yeah, she was awesome. Tom Oman, awesome. Weatherford Prain, awesome. Nick, crushed. Who's the guy that we wanted to have on the podcast from the group Stained?
Aaron Lewis, the lead singer.
It's been a while since he sang the song last night. Wow. He was awesome. But you know what?
Great song.
You see organizations in the front, and then there's a guy behind closed doors, guy named Matthew. Trash. Oh. So I am so let me go where I'm going with this point here. President Trump, what story are we in right now? We're in the story
tariffs,
with tariffs.
Ingram.
All president wants is an apology. The only thing I want is an apology from this guy, this little guy, Matthew, whatever his name is. Yeah. So why is he now working to defend these universities? Because he sued them. He got money. They apologized. Now he's going and fighting for them. Ooh. I don't know if you understand what I just said right there. I believe the president privately talked to these universities and he said, you're going to apologize and you're going to be pro-American? You're not going to play these games? How can I help you?
He's business.
I believe. Now, by the way, Brandon, you may or may not agree with that, but he's a deal maker to me.
I agree with that, but I would ask, what would the ask be, and how would he ensure that they actually do it? Because, it's difficult enough already to make sure that businesses do what he wants them to do, but like universities, the amount of like bureaucracy and layers of deception within them, like how would he even enforce that, or how what would the ask be? I guess that's it.
He got what he wanted short term, though. He publicly humiliated these schools that humiliated him and a lot of other people. He publicly embarrassed them.
Do you think that's all he wanted, though? Because I would think that they're still brainwashing the youth to be these crazy people.
I think the damage has been done to the universities. I'm going to explain what I mean by the damage has been done to the universities. How many guys you think who went to Harvard are going to want their kids to go to Harvard? Think about people who go to Harvard. People go to these schools.
Legacy families,
so it's like I want my kid to I meet people that are University of Florida. I want my kids to go to University of Florida, right?
Yeah,
There's a part of it that's what? Thank you. There's a part of it that's what's the word?
Tradition?
Legacy, right? Fantastic. No problem. But how many people that saw what happened who are Jewish or who are whatever are going to sit there and say, we're not sending our kids there? The damage has been done.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me. You don't think Ackman pulling out, you don't think these guys pulling out, the damage has been done. So I think they already have so much pain that he brought to them, and they've seen it. Nothing is permanent. It's not like you're going to be able to permanently hold these organizations accountable. But look how CBS is acting. Look how all these companies are acting. Look how, like BBC. Rob, can you do me a favor? Can we pull up the BBC story here? Watch what happened here with BBC.
Oh, yeah.
Donald Trump threatens to sue BBC over $1 billion for the January 6th speech edit, right? You know which one I'm talking about? We showed it on Monday.
We covered it on Monday.
That's right. So it's like, hey, he said this, but he never said that. We're going to go fight. That was not what he said next, but that's how they put it, Rob. Just show the first few seconds, Rob. If you can, press play. Watch this. So
we're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you, and we fight. We fight like hell.
That's bullshit.
And if you don't
Pause
fight
it.
like hell.
He did not say that.
And this is the original
Correct.
clip. Fast forward to the original clip to see what he says afterwards. Okay, so that's that. Now watch this one. Go ahead, Rob.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave Senator.
Okay, BBC. So this happens with BBC. Then what does BBC do? Holy shit, we have to make sure we show what happened here. Who quits? You know who quits? Not just a VP of marketing, not just regular people. Who quits? BBC boss Tim Davie resigns over Trump documentary edit. And you know who else resigns?
The girl.
The girl. What does the girl do?
The news head. She's the head of the news.
She's the head of the news. Rob, do you have the interview of her stepping down?
I have.
She's walking outside.
You can play. Is this her?
This is Reuters covering.
I think we played that one yesterday, but there is one with the CEO, Rob,
I'll find it.
where the CEO, the lady is quitting, and she's being interviewed afterwards, okay? She's being interviewed afterwards.
This is when she's very pompous. We are professional journalists. We would never.
BBC would never do such a thing, and she's walking.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah, so woman quits, resigns, and does this interview. That's her, but I want to see. There's a video that she's walking. It's a phenomenal video. I don't know why I can't find it on X, Rob. You're having a hard time as well.
I think we have it in our chat. Do we not?
It is in the chat. We send it, but I'm trying to find it here.
Rob,
so
check
she's being interviewed, and she comes up and saying, "I'm stepping down." Here, Rob, I just found it. I'm going to send it to you. Bingo. You should have it, Rob. See if you got it. Okay. So she's walking up to just kind of give the news. BBC would never do such a thing. We're not
Rob,
that. We're not this. We're not that.
Chat.
If you go to it, Rob, you have to see this, folks. It is so uncomfortable.
She's a blonde lady, British. They roll up on the street.
Uncomfortable. The level of
Rob,
another
if you go to
person.
the chat, I thumbed up.
Pompous.
This lady right here. Boom.
Watch this, folks.
I would like to say it has been the privilege of my career to serve as the CEO of BBC News and to work with our brilliant team of journalists. I stepped down over the weekend because the buck stops with me. But I'd like to make one thing very clear. BBC News is not institutionally biased. That's why it's the world's most trusted
Pause
news
real quick.
provider.
By the way, she's not just the head of anything. She is the CEO of BBC.
Yeah,
did you understand what just happened?
Yeah.
She's the CEO of BBC that resigns because they know $1 billion lawsuit is coming for manipulation. Please continue, Rob.
Provider. And why did you fail to deal with the mistakes that were made? And see my teams. Thank you so much.
Do you think that the journalists are corrupt like President Trump says? Do you think the journalists
our journalists aren't corrupt. Our journalists are hard-working people who strive for impartiality, and I will stand by their journalism.
Is there institutional bias at the BBC?
There is no institutional bias. Mistakes are made, but there's no institutional bias.
Then why are you resigning?
Mistakes dealt with on Trump, on anti-Semitism, on women's rights?
I'm sure that story will emerge. For now, I'm going to go and see our team.
Do you think the board acted against you? Do you think the board acted against you?
This way, Deborah.
And Pat, you proved that they even talked about it. They even said, like, hey, listen, this is, you guys realize that we're putting something out that, and they still did it.
No, they knew it.
They knew they were doing it.
They were doing it. They knew they were manipulating. Tom.
They didn't care.
Yeah, you have
Tom,
to edit that.
Tom?
I can't hear.
I know, we get it, but we already feel we'll do that afterward. Just stay with us here until they fix it. So they knew they're doing it. It's intentional. It's happening. They're trying to meddle with somebody else's politics in America that's taking place.
Yeah.
And
she's not biased, Pat.
He steps down. Now she steps down. God knows how many other people are going to be stepping down. You know all Trump wants? An apology.
That's it.
And guess what he's going to do till he gets that?
Right,
Sue the living crap out of him. Tom, go ahead. What are your thoughts?
No, he's going to do what he's good at. And he has seen bias before. You see her walking. What you see is an executive walking who has signed an exit agreement that has got non-disparagement. So she's saying the only thing she can say and what she agreed to say. It's just party line is what you're hearing from her. But the reason she resigned is because there was bias. The reason that Tim was his name resigned because there was bias. And by the way, if it's an isolated incident, they can go to the mat in a lawsuit on an isolated incident, Pat, and they can say, hey, we terminated an editor, we changed our procedures, it was a one-off, and we issued an apology and a retraction. You do that, you don't lose the CEO. You do that, you don't lose your head of news.
You're right.
But guess what? They know what's coming, and what he's bringing the hammer.
Yep.
Can I just simplify this?
Yeah.
They said... It's literally the exact opposite. Instead of saying, we're going to walk down to the Capitol and root on our amazing congressmen and women, and hopefully they do a good job. No, we're going to walk down to the Capitol and we're going to go kick everybody's ass.
And we're going to fight.
It's literally the definition of lying.
Here's bias.
Yeah.
Here's complete.
It's just lying. It's completely a lie. It's not even close to reality.
And mind you, Pat, this is a documentary, so they wanted history to say that Donald Trump told people to go there and fight, and that's why January 6th happened.
By the way, what is the lawsuit here that they're
$1 billion.
talking about? Is it $1 billion?
$1 billion.
Donald Trump threatens to sue BBC for $1 billion over January 6th speech.
$1 billion.
Edit. Rob, is there a video on this, him talking about it, or is it just...
I just have news coverage. No, he did not speak about it. A legal representative for the president said that they were considering $1 billion.
So you know what? Thank you for that. So what you're seeing here, a pattern, getting back to respect and not manipulating. Talk to us, okay? Don't do this. A guy asks a question. They come to us. We had a call with you take the AI companies out, the fastest growing company in America. You all know who the company is. Multi-billion dollar company. And we're having a conversation. Says, you know what makes what we like about PBD podcast? What? Because you guys are processing stuff while you're in the middle of it. It's like, what do you think about this? Can you pull this up? Can you pull that up? Can you search this? Search that? It's not like it's like today, and I'm reading a teleprompter, right? Yeah. Like people are going back to talk to me, be real. What do you think? Here's what we think. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you that. No. All these games today, this can be used in a positive way. This can be used in a negative way.
Big time.
With all of this right now out there, it's very, very hard to try to manipulate because everybody is. It's easy to manipulate short term, but long term you're getting caught. The question becomes, that video that they cut the way that they did was effective at the time. Now what? These videos that they cut this way, what Nancy Pelosi did, was effective on January 6th. All the video, we're sitting here talking about insurrection. I remember one time, Adam, I don't know if you remember this or not, we're having a conversation. I'm like, do you even know what insurrection is? Pull up what insurrection is. What insurrection? The only person that you guys killed was one of the people on Trump's side. Who is this guy that's walking up there telling people to run up, run up, run up? The FBI guy.
Ray Epps.
Yeah, run.
Go into the Capitol.
Go into the Capitol. Oof. All of these things are gradually being exposed, and it's exciting that this is taking place. I hope he goes after them. I hope he does. I hope he exposes what they're doing. Brandon.
This is a level above a lawsuit, I think, though, too. I mean, like, think of the danger that could have come from putting the idea in people's heads, thinking that Trump was asking them to go there and fight and do like what they're spending as an insurrection or rebel against the government. So, I think it could be like, legal consequences of like potentially jail time if you look at it a certain way. It's crazier than the CBS thing with Kamala, where they're just trying to make it look like she didn't say something stupid. Like they made it look like he said something dangerous.
Yes, correct. I think it's a good point by Brandon. It's a big difference between the Kamala thing, CBS, where they doctored her thing, the George Stephanopoulos thing. There's been other things. This is a foreign media company which is the equivalent, I would say, of like PBS or NPR interfering with American politics at the height of discord.
We're all saying the same thing.
Yeah, of course. Here's my question to you, though. Where's the leverage in not just going and suing them now? I'm curious to what would be a reason where he's just like, he wants the apology, he wants to say, so you think if he gets the apology, he's not going to ask for the money of the lawyers to go sue them?
No.
What's his angle?
No, there are certain things. What happened last night? All I want is an apology for last night.
Yes.
I'm not into suing business for something like that. It's just I'll never associate with them.
Okay.
Because it's a great cause, good people that are being recognized. The stories, couple of them was very emotional. But guess what? It's just the executive team. The guy that's the president is horrible at what he does, lacks respect, and is entitled, and is arrogant, right? And you learn about organizations on private calls, not on stage, on private calls. I don't know whether BBC has privately called Trump yet. I don't know. I don't know if there's been a private phone call. I don't know if anybody's reached out privately. I don't know if anyone's called and said anything. If they did, do you think Trump would leak that to the world? I don't know. Do you think Trump would say, I just had a good call with BBC. They apologize. Do you think President Trump...
Oh, he would definitely do that.
He would. So I don't think the call's been made.
Okay.
I don't think that call's been made. So guess what? You're going to get it. But there's levels to insult. This is not an insult. This could have been a very catastrophic. If he doesn't get reelected, history books would have written it as if he said that. You are writing history and faking it. BBC, Tom, I know you want to say something.
Her background here, according to the bio that's publicly available, she was president of NBC News from 2013 to 2017 before she went back across to the BBC. What happened in 2016, and how did NBC News cover that?
What a freaking angle, Tom. Wow. You understand?
Yeah, of course. BBC
Trump gets
News.
elected, boom, let me go over there.
Wow.
Okay.
And by the way, I don't know if you know, so Tom, I love that you
And you
caught
don't
that.
think her deposition would have included, well, let's look at your previous bias. So when you were president of NBC News, man.
I do give her credit, though, Tom. She went educated at St. Francis College, age 12, expelled because she was kissing a boy in a bush. It's pretty gangster, though. Like,
Good for her.
She's a wild one. You saw that? I love Tom. Tom finds that, and I find the kissing.
So she keeps getting expelled, right?
Who wrote that?
So she's got a long history of getting fired. Apparently.
That's great.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Kissing a boy in a bush.
Listen, she messed up, but I kind of like her.
That's our sleuth Vinny out there finding the real movable,
Juicy.
exactly, the juicy news.
All right, let's go to the next story. Next story. All right, next story we want to get into. I got so many of these guys. I don't know which one to go to next. Let me see this one here. Yeah, let's go to this. So CBS News, new editor, Bari Weiss, looks to poach, ready? Scott Jennings.
I heard that.
For swanky new role. So first, she goes after Bret Baier. Now, going after Scott Jennings. Let me read this to you. Rob, can you go exactly to the point where I say if I were to negotiate on your behalf, go exactly to that point, not when he's asking me the question. All right, so CBS, can we go page 21? So these guys are playing offense. So Barry's like, let me go pick up Bret Baier and let me go pick up Scott Jennings. She's got a plan, okay? All right, so Scott Jennings maybe have a new role at CBS ahead of him thanks to the network's new editor-in-chief, who was hired less than a month ago to go rebrand the outlet. Bari Weiss invited Scott Jennings to the company's headquarters in New York City this week for a meeting. According to Semaphore, Jennings, 48, has made a name for himself among right-wing media and consumers for his cutthroat debating on CNN as a part-time contributor. The 41-year-old chief also met with Fox News anchor Bret Baier to discuss the potential of hosting the channel's flagship show. Weiss, who was aired on October 6th, met with Baier a week before a discussion with Jennings. However, it appears that unlikely a deal could be made with Baier, given that he is under contract with Fox News evening broadcast until 2028. The possible moves come amid uncertainty as Paramount, the parent company of CBS, is expected to make cuts in the next couple of days. Before any layoffs, co-anchor John Dickerson announced on Monday that he is leaving CBS. Dickerson, who has not explained the abrupt exit, announced on Instagram, local news, at the end of this year, I will leave CBS 16 years after I sat in the face of Nation anchor for the first time. I'm extremely grateful for all the CBS gave me, the work, the audience, attention, and the honor of being a part of the network's history. And I'm grateful for my dear colleagues who made a better journalist and a better human being of me. I miss you. Tom, thoughts?
Well, first of all, what Dickerson is really saying, let me translate for him, is this, guys, I don't want to be in the layoff press release. Can I be in my own press release like a week sooner? Yeah, John, you've been here a while. We'll do that. That's what's going on here. There are people that know that the change is coming, people that they've already spoken to them. They talk to their agents. They talk about how the severance is going to work, or they just go to page 26 of the contract, Pat, and say, well, clause 6, we can give you notice and then pay you this much. We're exercising clause 6. Your agent received an email today. And then they go, can I look good some way getting out of this? That's what's going on, point one. Point two, you know what Bari Weiss reminds me of, Pat?
Tell me.
When Jimmy Johnson went to the Dallas Cowboys, and he just said, look, this has been a losing team for a while. We can't do things one at a time or two at a time. We got to go and just change it up. And the first year he had there was terrible. He won like 2 games. Remember that? Like 2-12, and Bill Parcells crossed was walking to the tunnel, went like this, like, dude, keep your chin up, keep your chin up. You're building it. And I feel like she's coming in there like that and saying, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And there is nobody offering. The interesting thing is news media organizations are highly political. You always have your buddy at the top. It says, oh, I'm really close with this guy. I'm close with this guy. I'm not going to be here. There is all the words that, who was there? That Tom Brokaw was really tight with Warren Littlefield. So you could never move Brokaw unless you wanted to go to Warren Littlefield way, way up at the top, who reported to, at the time, I think, to Bob Wright, like GE. So it was tough. It appears that nobody is offering these protections. And she's able to come in and say, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going here.
Does it sound like she has a plan?
I think it does sound like she has a plan. She's looking for everyone she's talking to is not like far, 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 far right. They have a degree of moderate, middle moderation. That's how I read.
So I'm at the America Business Forum. Bret Baier is interviewing me. We're having a great conversation. And then he asked me a question about capitalism. And then this is what I shared with him. And we negotiated his contract publicly, which was great. Go ahead, Rob.
Awesome. On the spot. He had no clue.
Make an offer to Bret Baier. You work at Fox News. You make millions of dollars. You're a very wealthy man. The market right now is in a very bad place. Disney needs talent desperately. Disney's begging YouTube to allow ESPN to be back on there because the games they're playing. Disney created a website for people to go to lobby to allow YouTube to put their app back on. And they're saying, we don't want to do this. To the point where Pat McAfee is saying, don't get me involved. I know you're paying me. I don't want to do this. CBS right now brings Bari Weiss. Right? And Bari wants to go get somebody like you. I don't blame them. Guess what's going to happen? Fox is sitting there. If I'm your agent, say I'm your agent. This is a great opportunity for me if I'm your agent. Guess what I'm doing? I'm going to say, Bret, this is fantastic. Let me make a phone call to Lachlan. I'm going to call Lachlan. I'm going to say, hey, Lachlan, Bret Baier is about to go to CBS. He's going to get a 3-year, 4-year, 5-year, $75 million contract. What do we want to do to lock in the greatest moderator of our era? Do we want to lose him? No. Lock him in right now. He's not going to CBS. That's capitalism. What are you going to do? You think you're going to lose?
Are you available?
You can pause it right there.
What a moment.
That's a great comment.
What was even better is backstage when we came up to him, he's like, no, seriously, like, what can we do?
And Pat, this is, I respect you. You have to, like, listen, say what you want about agendas and propaganda, whatever. That you have to respect the game and respect the hustle. When it comes to Scott Jennings, I can't watch the Abby Phillips, Dear Abby. I can't watch that. The only moment you watch Anna Navarro on there, she's just completely out of her mind. They have no idea. They're such in a bubble. The only reason we're watching it is because Scott Jennings calls all of them out on their BS, okay? And I have to show this clip, Pat. Abby Phillips is with Joy Reid, and she's sitting there describing what she does and how conservatives are in a completely different world. She's sitting with Joy Reid about conspiracies, and guess what? Joy Reid is the one that was floating the idea that Trump wasn't really shot. It was a staged photo op. Play this clip from Dear Abby.
Conservatives are living in a completely different information world than liberals. And breaking that down needs to be done.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you don't ever even hear the facts, it's hard to even know that you're wrong. And that happens a lot. I mean, half my job sometimes is knowing what the latest conspiracy is, so that if it comes up, I'm ready to address it.
Because your party's doing it.
It happens a lot where people don't even
Vinny,
know
who's the guy that
what
Abby's
they're
sitting down with?
saying or what they've seen and believe is not true. And so that happens a lot, and I don't come away from that saying, what's the point of this? People are just saying false things. I think that one time that person brings up something that is debunked and false, and I debunk it at the table, might be the very first time that someone out there has heard an alternative point of view.
By the way, like Scott Jennings, I have a feeling he's going to leave, and then who are they going to bring in to even make the Abby Phillips show even mildly watchable? It's a horrible show. It's all of them just patting each other on the backs, and she wants to talk about all this nonsense about conspiracy. That's what your party does all the time. They constantly conspire with Russia collusion and this and the I can't even go into all this stuff. It's so rich to sit here and listen to her talk about she has to explain that she doesn't understand. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, half my job is this, half my job is that. Abby, with all due respect, you're only doing half a job, and Scott Jennings is doing the other half on your show, because you take him out, and what do you have?
You know what? I'd love a case study. That's it. What hurts more? If you take Abby out, does the CNN show change with Scott Jennings on? If you take Scott Jennings out and Abby stays, does the show do better without Scott Jennings? Do you understand what question I just asked?
It doesn't matter who the host is. Scott would, because it's obviously going to be a leftist.
Scorer.
He's going to go in there and just dunk on every single one of them with facts.
And by the way, you know who else Bari Weiss is going after? Matt Gutman.
Oh, my boy.
Yeah. Matt Gutman. You know who Matt Gutman is? If you remember Matt Gutman, 2 months ago, we talked about him when he said something.
You guys yelled at me because I said he's an actual journalist. I said he's an actual journalist.
But do you remember what happened with him?
He said that he was sort of, and I do not condone this, but he was kind of like telling the love story of who's the guy that killed Charlie Kirk allegedly?
The trans
lover story. He called it a love story.
I have the clip if you want to.
Oh yeah, can we please? I have to.
She's like creating the WWE.
She is.
Yeah.
An alleged murder with such specific text messages about the alleged murder weapon, where it was hidden, how it was placed, what was on it, but also it was very touching.
What was his name? Robinson? What's his name?
Very intimate.
What's the kid's name? Robinson?
Listen.
Tyler Robinson.
This guy was
Tyler
almost shot a
Robinson
guy's head off, shot him in the neck, bled out. But listen, there's love.
No,
like he loved. By the way, his furry boyfriend, who's been missing, just FYI, for 6 weeks. But we'll get into that.
No, I can't condone that weird love story. However,
Adam,
the guy is a real
story.
journalist.
Adam, he's a real journalist.
I got lambasted.
Adam, he's a real journalist.
I do have a question. Maybe Tom can help. Bari Weiss, I don't know much about her.
Me neither.
Everything I hear about her is that she's very credible. She's a former liberal, New York Times, and maybe even Wall Street Journal.
I think she still is.
I don't know what she is, but she's been very against woke culture. So what? She started the Substack. She started the Free Press. The Free Press got picked up by the Ellison, the Paramount, and everything, and now she's running. Just give me the context of Bari Weiss. I hear great things about her.
You summarized it.
There it is, guys.
She left the enterprise of the New York Times, eventually starts and builds Free Press, and is not like on a 1 to 10 liberals. Instead of sitting at a 9, she's like at a 6.5, 7. And the Ellisons are looking for somebody more moderated in the middle. And they were also looking for, podcast content, just the same way that Fox, through the Red Investment Group, has been looking for podcast content. So finish what you were going to say, Adam.
And they paid her They paid her $150 million, I believe, for the Free Press.
We say allegedly. I don't want to make it sound like a crime, but the rumors and the things that are in the media was that, that the price for her group was around that. And then they also brought over her staff and then made her head of the news, and now she's,
Wheeling
removing
balance.
people, changing people, and having a lot of meetings with the right people. Remember, they're in third place. They're in third place.
Of the big three, you're saying?
Yeah.
ABC, NBC, CBS.
Yeah, and at certain times when Rachel Maddow was on a roll, they were in fourth place. So CBS has been like in the dark basement. This is like, once upon a time they were really good. This is like the Yankees in '74 before Steinbrenner bought them. And then Steinbrenner said, this is a proud organization. You know what the nickname for CBS used to be? The Tiffany Network. Because they were supposedly the classiest, the one at the top with Walter Cronkite. And I feel like have the Ellisons kind of made the Steinbrenner move here, and they're going to put in. And remember what Steinbrenner put in the dugout? He made some errors with Gene Mauch and stuff, but he put Billy Martin in the dugout. Why? Because Martin was a guy that wasn't going to take any ego from players. And it went back and forth.
Martin was a gangster like him, though.
But I feel like he fired him and rehired him like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
In one interview.
But who didn't like Martin? Reggie Jackson, because Reggie's ego was taking over, and Reggie was a performer. Reggie was Mr. October. It was all good. But Martin was like, this is the way we're going to do it. So I see similarities for the Tiffany, the once proud Tiffany Network, 60 Minutes, Walter Cronkite through the 60s and 70s. My goodness. Now sitting there in this lowly position, Ellison's buy it and say, we can do something different with this. And now Barry Weiss has been put in place.
Tom, I got to give you credit. You're giving sports references today. Jimmy Johnson. How about them Cowboys, Yankees? I know you're a huge Yankees fan.
I'm talking
I know
about
that.
turnaround stories.
No, I'm just saying,
Pat,
good metaphors.
Yeah. So how unique do you think Scott Jennings is? Because I actually think that they discovered a model accidentally by throwing this guy in that I don't think he's extremely talented and love what he does there, but I don't think it's that hard to find somebody who's like that could do the exact same thing.
Oh, bro,
on CBS.
You
I know you always have this
wrong.
take.
You couldn't be more wrong.
I know
because Scott Jennings is a talented person.
Are
you kidding me?
Right, I literally led that sentence by saying he's very talented.
So you can't say he's very, very talented, and then you could just replace him with anybody.
No, I said you
Which
could.
one is it?
I said you could duplicate that model very easily by just putting a
Hey,
conservative.
CNN, CBS, call Brandon, the guy, put him on the show. Because if they did have other people like that,
anybody could replace him. I said you could find somebody like that that's well spoken.
But you're well.
All right, how many other
Who
liberal media networks have put a conservative in a group of liberals?
By the way, just so you know, Brandon is not wrong. Hear me out for a second. Think about how many conservative, talented Scott Jennings are out there at conservative networks that liberal networks can go recruit. If you think about The View has one conservative who hates Trump. Who is not a conservative.
The girl at the end.
She's a,
fair or whatever.
I don't know what you want to call.
She's like a Mike Pence type conservative.
Yeah, she's a Pence.
She's like a Pence.
Like a rhino.
Conservative. Yeah, she is. So
she's not MAGA.
So, but a Scott Jennings type, there are quite a few of them. I wouldn't say a lot of them. I would say there's 50 of them out there to get. So it's not hard to go find them. I have a list of guys I would go pick up. And what you're looking for is there's different kind of conservatives. Yesterday when I had Sam Shimon on, a Syrian guy, we had a conversation with him here yesterday. Very, very good conversation. He said something. He says, I'm good if you put me to debate Muslims. Because he's read the Quran and the Bible, and he was quoting scripture and the Quran for 2.5 hours yesterday.
No joke.
Blown away by this guy.
Is he skinny? Did he look good?
He said he was fine, but he says
for him.
He said if you put me against an atheist to debate, I don't know how to debate an atheist because I've not studied atheism. My specialty to debate is what? Muslims. So now,
Sunni especially.
Go into some other guys that you want to bring them that are multi. Some guys, their trick pony is what? Israel. I can debate Israel. Some it's J6. Right. Some it's, what do you call it?
Federal Reserve.
Federal Reserve, and the Fed. Some there's a lot of one-trick pony guys, and then you have great processors, then you have great entertainers. And he even talked about a guy whose name was, what was the guy's name, Rob, yesterday? William something that Sam talked about. His books are amazing. He says, but William is a great writer, but a horrible debater. He said his books are amazing, but the moment he did a debate with this other man named William, is that him, Rob? William Lane Craig?
I believe so.
Yeah, William Lane Craig. He says the moment he did a debate, I don't know if it's him.
No,
I don't think it's him. The moment he did a debate with another person, he failed
Older
the debate.
gentleman, yeah.
Because he was not a debater. So I think there is about 50 Scott Jennings out there, and I would put Scott at the top right now. He's fantastic. He's fantastic. But I understand the argument you're making. They're out there, but these organizations simply don't know where to look, where to find them. But they're definitely out there to go find.
It's a good model.
It's a good model. Fantastic. So
when's the last time
Putting
CNN
common sense in the middle of a bunch of crazy people?
Yeah, exactly.
When's the last time
That's the
CNN
model.
actually had real substantive debate? Crossfire back in the day with
Yeah, but that's
Tucker Carlson.
I'm going to the
ironically?
next story, Adam. I'm going to the next story. Government shutdown. Senate passes bill to end the government shutdown, sending it to the House. So, Rob, I think you got a clip on this one here, page 9. So, Senate passes bill. Okay, the Senate on Monday passed the bill. Federal government throughout January. The bill, which passed 60-40 with support of a handful of Democratic senators, nearly all Republicans will be sent to the House of Representatives. If it passes the House, the bill will head to President Trump to sign. Trump earlier Monday said that he supports the funding deal, which was negotiated between Republicans and gang of moderate Senate Democrats. Nearly 6 weeks after the shutdown, House Speaker Mike Johnson told his Republican conference earlier Monday that he wanted GOP House members to begin traveling to D.C. House members were told that votes on deal could begin 4 p.m. on Wednesday. Before the Senate vote, Johnson refused to commit to the deal's key guarantee to Democrats that Congress will hold a separate vote in December on potentially extending enhanced Affordable Care Act subsidies. That vote would be on a bill of the Democrats chosen according to the Senate agreement. I'm not committing to it or not committing to it, Speaker Johnson said. Rob, is this an update on the video?
Yeah, this is a Reuters clip. I also have the president, and then I have Fox News.
Which one do you want to go with, Rob?
Let's go with the president.
Go for it.
Do you personally approve of the deal that's happening right now on Capitol Hill to end the government?
Well, it depends what deal we're talking about. But if it's a deal I heard about, that's certainly, they want to change the deal a little bit. But I would say so. I think based on everything I'm hearing, they haven't changed anything. And we have support from enough Democrats. And we're going to be opening up our country. It's too bad it was closed, but we'll be opening up our country very quickly.
Okay, and then what's the other one you got, Rob?
I have Fox News reporting on the Senate vote as well as Reuters.
Let's look at the Fox News one. Go for it.
We thought that this is pretty much how this was going to go. There's a reason they call those test votes and the test vote results. Sometimes the final vote is a little bit different, but that was not the case tonight. It was the same vote breakdown as what we had last night. Let me just go through the list. As you say, it was 60-40. They did not need 60 votes, however. They just needed a simple majority. They needed 60 votes to break that filibuster last night. Here are the Democratic yeas, the same coalition that voted with most of the Republicans last night. Catherine Cortez Masto, Democrat of Nevada, Dick Durbin, the Democratic whip, John Fetterman, who you just had on, Maggie Hassan, Democrat of New Hampshire, Angus King, the independent senator from Maine, who was also voting with Fetterman and Cortez Masto on the previous votes
Talked about this
throughout the month of
Okay, Tom, thoughts?
So this is a show of strength by John Thune, because this needed a simple majority and all those Democrats could have stepped back. We went over the list. He was going, I'll make it even simple for her, both in Nevada, both in New Hampshire, Dick Durbin in Illinois, one in Virginia, Angus King in Maine, and then John Fetterman. No surprise about Fetterman. Those are the 8 that went with it. And so right now, 2 things happened this morning. The Republicans are all happy because they've won the battle, but 5 times out of 5, you'll lose the war for the midterm elections, and they got to get on the stick. There's no time for a victory lap right now. They got to address affordability issues and get that in front of the American people, what they're going to do. But what's also interesting this morning is Chuck Schumer. I saw in the Wall Street Journal, I saw in the Washington Post, Chuck Schumer was taking unbelievable heat. The people said that they personally called him. Remember, these are representatives calling senator. They're calling him and just jumping down his throat. And he was saying, I've been getting calls all evening. I was getting calls all morning. And, I don't know what all the anger is about. They knew this was coming. Listen to that carefully. Chuck Schumer saying to the media this morning that the other Democrats that are so upset in the House that these 6 senators came across, he says, we told them. They knew this was coming. You know what that means? Chuck Schumer knew before the weekend that the Dems were about to blink and that the Republicans weren't going to put in the concessions, especially the Obamacare subsidies. And so he's out there today, very interesting, talking to big media, trying to cover his butt, saying, I don't know why they're so upset. We told them this was coming. We gave them notice. We understood. So Chuck was telling people, now what was he telling people? Let's dive down. I'm losing 8 votes, man. I got Nevada, I got New Hampshire gone, Durbin went, and Virginia, Maine, and of course, Dan Fetterman. They all went on me. That means Schumer couldn't pull those 8 in line. The president won, Schumer blinked. And I take you back to when Schumer sat in the Oval Office. This is a W for Trump over Schumer politically, but there's a lot of work to do, and they got to go win these midterm elections, and they got to turn the dialogue.
And by the way, literally everybody has turned against Schumer. I don't know if you've noticed that. Everybody is going for Schumer's
Was that headline this morning right there?
What's that?
Yes.
The View is destroying Schumer? Is that it?
This is the headline from the Wall Street Journal Tom mentioned.
Got it. Plug after Schumer shutdown. What's the View, Rob? What do you have on the View?
This is the View from yesterday where they...
Because he couldn't get him in line.
Rob, it's a 6-minute clip. Do they get right into it, or?
I'm not sure. I just found it.
Oh, okay.
I haven't had a chance to screen.
Yeah, but it looks like everybody is going after Schumer, and he's having a hard time. This is not a good season for him. So Pelosi is stepping down end of the year. It looks like Schumer probably is going to be gone as well here very soon.
The old guard needs to go. They need to go. I mean, if the Democrats want anything, Pat, and you see where the party's going with the Mamdanis and the AOCs and the Bernie Sanders, that's where their party, because they still have no message. They have no real leaders. That's who they're going to be their default. The Hakeem Jeffries, who doesn't do anything but everything. Somebody asked him a question the other day, Pat. The first thing he says is, well, Trump, it's like they're still caught in the Trump world, and unless they start shifting, they're going to be stuck in it. I think he is next.
AOC has a decision to make in February. If she announces she's running for Chuck Schumer's seat, how does she also not run for president, but like position herself for the VP slot?
Yep.
She's got to make a choice. You see what I'm saying? Is she going to position herself for VP? Is she going to make a short run for president to elevate her national exposure, or is she going to run for Schumer's seat in the Senate?
I think the right move, Tom, is Schumer's position.
Yeah.
I actually agree with that.
Senate?
Yep.
I think so.
Well,
I think so. I think that's the right move. I want you to watch this clip, and then Adam will come to you. Go for it, Rob.
Are quick at work right now talking to the Democrat leadership that gets their campaigns funded by these insurance companies, and I sure hope it works.
Bingo.
I think that meteorite that hit the Gulf of America millennia ago that wiped out the dinosaurs is Trump care, and it's going to wipe out the dinosaur that's Chuck Schumer. I think Schumer's days are numbered, as everyone else does. I think AOC will take him on in the primary and beat him like a drum.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I think it's a right career move for her. Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, well, he said the word that I was going to say. Chuck Schumer is a dinosaur who's politically homeless in the current Democratic Party, and he's a dead man walking. The Democratic Party is no longer the Democratic Party. It is now the DSA, the Democratic Socialist Party of America. Unfortunately, I would love to see a strong Democratic Party with substantive issues that could combat maybe some of the issues the Republicans are bringing up to the table. But the Democratic Socialists of America, highlighted by our good friend, what a guy, Mamdani and AOC and Bernie Sanders, it's a shell of what the Democratic Party, Bill Clinton, and even Obama used to be. So they're going in the wrong direction. They're doubling down on the 20%, on the 80% issues. Pardon me. And I think Chuck Schumer's days are numbered, and I think AOC is a better representative of what the current Democratic Socialist Party is in America, and we're not going to be better served for it in America.
When Chuck Schumer's really bad downfall was? When on 4th of July, he was in front of the grill with a piece of cheese that was just frozen on there, and that was it.
No,
America was like...
I don't know if you could find this clip, but to me, Chuck Schumer's downfall was when Trump incredibly just won the election, and maybe it was even before the election. He goes, Chuck, your party's become so woke, maybe you can come back as a woman and run again, whatever he said. And he's like, he's looking real smug, looking
glum.
Real glum.
Chuck, you're looking glum, very glum, Chuck.
And he just ridiculed him in a nice way. I'm like, this guy's finished. Do you have that? Here we go.
Coming in very, very strong.
Look at him, look at him.
I won't tell you what way that is,
Look
but
at Chuck Schumer's face.
Chuck Schumer is here looking very glum.
Look at him. He's like, look at him. Look at him. Look at him. He's glum.
Oh, tough guy. But look on the bright side, Chuck, considering how woke your party has become. If Kamala loses, you still have a chance to become the first woman president.
And it's so true, because that's basically what the Democratic Party was at that point.
He is one of a kind.
So
man.
awesome.
The stuff that he does is
Look at him. Look at him.
Is
That's
this
the
your
photo.
burger?
Man. Look at that. Look at that cheese.
All right, let me get to the next one here. So this African
He's
American.
never seen a barbecue.
So this African American lesbian lady who went to the gym to work out and sees this guy with a big dangling hanging out, just doing his thing.
Oh my gosh.
Trans guy. She confronts. You just have to see this. She confronts the lawmaker in California, saying, and then somebody comments, and then watch what happens next. Go ahead, Rob.
Great clip.
Senator Winner, as the only black lesbian here, can I please ask you a question, because I flew here to do that? Yeah. Okay. As a lesbian woman who was attacked in the women's locker room at Gold's Gym this week by a self-identifying trans woman with a documented history of domestic violence, I'm deeply concerned about women's safety in female-only spaces. What would you say to women who are seeking assurance that their safety will be protected from men who, by California law, can self-ID as women in women-only spaces, sir? Please tell me.
Yeah, so we want, everyone to be safe. And we also know that, we have trans people, both men and women.
Here it comes.
Who are men and women.
No,
and
no,
so,
they're not.
So if you're trans women are women.
Senator, you've done great things with the bills you've passed with the housing. I've read a lot of your bills, and like you said, there are bills that need to be opened up, and I'm telling you now, millions of women across America are being harassed and sexually assaulted in locker rooms. I'm a lesbian black woman. I'm not transphobic. I'm not homophobic. And I do respect a lot of the things you've done. But I do see a lot of these bills that you've passed that are dangerous for women and young children. And I understand that you're trying to be on a level playing field. And I'm here to represent my community, because I hear a lot of things about my community in these bills. And I'm telling you as a woman, first and foremost, that this is dangerous, and we need your help, because you're in the office. You're going to go in the Pelosi spot. I want to support you. I have millions of people behind me watching this right now, and we want to know, are you going to protect women? Not trans women, women. Trans women are different things. Women.
Whoa, California.
Listen, we need to protect women's safety. I was assaulted.
Women are women.
I was assaulted. No, they are not. They are men. I was assaulted by men. He broke his wife's jaw so bad she needed reconstructive surgery. I'm a lesbian. I'm not transphobic, and I'm black. So if there's another black woman in here who wants to tell me how they feel, please join in. Yeah. But all of you are not. And I don't know who you are, what you are, but I'm a lesbian, and I'm telling you right now, men are harassing women in the locker room.
Let's let him answer the question.
Look at him.
I'm just telling you, since y'all want to woo.
No, just let
Now I'm done. And by the way,
I respect it. Look.
I just want to let you know that.
Sensitive. Let's give the senator the opportunity.
I'm done.
I appreciate your point of view.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry that you were harassed,
multiple times.
and I appreciate you talking about it. We need to protect the safety of all women.
He's still hanging on.
And that obviously that's incredibly important. And I also know that trans women are also brutalized.
Oh my God!
Women and cisgender women are brutalized.
You can pause it right there.
Somebody
Vinny,
give this guy a shovel.
I just want you. So for people that don't know who this guy is, that is California State Senator Scott Wiener. And like I said at the beginning, it's just weird that all these wieners are just from Anthony to him. There's no relation. Yeah, that's it. That's him. Go to the next photo, Rob.
He's
him. Potentially going to be taking Nancy Pelosi's spot. That's him on the left.
That guy in the back with the blue shirt on is him?
No, it's the guy. It's him on the left.
So he's gay?
How about this? He's in the community. I'm not going to say allegedly, but here's some of the...
I'm just going to make an assumption.
Adam, here's some of the bills that he's been behind. SB 375,
legalizing.
A
lot of bills.
Yeah, right.
Jeez, he's behind a lot of...
I I didn't see that one coming.
Are you saying that a gay army doesn't
come out?
And a lot of Georges, and a lot of Freds, and a lot of Leroys.
But Pat, I'll just name a couple of things. Oh God, it's so freaking funny. SB 357, legalizing prostitution, creating more trafficking opportunities. SB 866, minors can consent to medical experiments without their parents' knowledge. Removing penalty for knowingly giving a partner HIV. That's SB 238. So when you guys want to know why a man is sitting there, mind you, I don't care if she's a lesbian, whatever. A woman is telling you she's sexually assaulted because a dude who beat the hell out of his wife and broke her freaking jaw is in there with his dingling hanging out. And the guy that's basically in charge is saying, hey, that guy, if he says he's a woman, he's a woman. They don't give a damn. Hey, ladies, all you feminists out there, the LGBTQ loving and you're parading, they don't give a damn about you. Okay, they don't give two shits, and this is happening in California. And where's Gavin Newsom? He's on the world tour of Trump is Hitler, but in his freaking state, you could still go in there, take your assault a woman, and guess what they're going to do? They're going to stick up for the guy. Congratulations, California.
Vinny.
You guys keep
read
getting
the rest
W's.
of them. You stopped reading. Read SB 239. Read SB 132 on the list.
All right, SB 239 removes penalty for knowingly giving a partner HIV. I said that one.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and then SB 132.
Wait, he removed it?
Yeah,
they
that's
removed
right.
the penalty for
So
knowingly.
if you knowingly give your partner AIDS, HIV, it's not a crime.
SB 239 was created.
Look up it up.
SB 239 was created so if two gentlemen meet each other, one has to say, I need to advise you that I am positive.
Like
what's the argument for removing that?
Hey, guess
How do
what?
you
Because hey, Brandon, guys just want to have fun, bro.
It's discriminating.
Yeah.
That would be the argument, right?
And then he also SB.
Well, then I guess what they're saying, the positive people would never get laid, so they have to.
SB 230 California law in 2013 under Jerry Brown that reform prior HIV exposure criminal statute. Prior to this law, California had HIV-specific criminal statutes, making it a felony, for example, for someone who knows they are HIV positive, does not disclose it, and has unprotected set if no transmission occurs. HIV-specific felony provisions and aligns law for HIV with laws. So key changes under the new law, the person knows that they are afflicted with a communicable disease. The person acts specific intent to transmit. The person engaged in conduct, proposed substantial risk of transmission. Actual transmission of the disease occurs. The penalties were reduced. What had been previously been as a felony is now a misdemeanor.
It's a misdemeanor. Oh, and then also he required biological males. By the way, he's backed the law of biological males to be housed with females if they identify. Guys, these are those people. Wow. Those are the deviants. Those are the LGBTQ community that we've been warning you guys about. That's the person that's going to be taking Pelosi's spot.
There were documented cases of men who conspired with their attorney to self-identify as women so that they would get moved to the women's prison.
Yes.
Because, Bubba and the running start in the men's prison wasn't going well. And so they literally went to their attorney and said, Pat, check this out. I'm identifying as a woman as of today. My attorney is putting all these things up. I feel abused here at the men's prison. And so they say, okay, we'll move you to the women's prison. No change, no hormone, no surgery.
Just verbal.
So
murder, Tom. I heard there was a rapist that said in California, I remember this during COVID, he's like, I'm a woman. Do you have any idea how one of them got somebody pregnant? He got a female pregnant.
You know what's the biggest thing that could stop this, though, is like a coalition of people like that. Because I think that gays and lesbians and trannies are as different as Republicans and Democrats, like in terms of traditional gay people and lesbian people versus like this new whatever you want to call it, like weird thing of the trans people and the mentally ill people. Like those are two different categories, and I think the traditional ones should,
she's a
like,
traditional.
Yeah, exactly. Like 1,000 people like that should be like rallying against this. And I think that's the strongest thing.
By the way, I like her. I like her a lot.
We need more people like that.
Let me tell you something.
Need more people like that who are like actually gay.
Yeah, I like her.
And against that.
She walked into a meeting with her statement.
I love her.
Delivered it eloquently,
shout out.
with respect.
I love her.
And indicated, and I hope she was telling the truth, she said, I've read your bills.
Behind it.
So I've read your bills, and I'm here. I just want to talk about it.
Brandon's absolutely right on this thing right now. There's a big difference between the L, the G, the B, the Q, the E, I, and the T. It's completely ridiculous. This black lesbian is giving you a layup. Hey, I'm a black lesbian
woman.
Hello, I'm on your side. Like, give you a layup to defend women, and he's like, trans women are women too. Like, you idiot. But this is the party at this point. This is this guy.
And FYI, just to all my friends in California, mira, listen.
Mira, oístame.
Por favor, listen. Mero pelesek, please. Shmi khadaga.
Yeah.
Mujur tanachina.
Yeah, shmi.
Ye dage age mitunin. Okay, I'm gonna give it to you in these different languages. Your state ain't changing anytime soon. Prop 50 made your representatives become 48-4.
And that's them. That's one of them.
That's what they stand for. So good luck, California. All you have to do is realize you either accept it, you either change, or you either just put your kids in private school and not have to be around any of this stuff because it's not going away.
The money.
It's not going away. I will tell you, Texas, beautiful state. Nevada, good state. Tennessee, incredible. Okay. Florida, Boca Raton.
The best.
The next 10 years, Vinny, watch how many Assyrians and Armenians of our kind.
Yes.
Our kind. Yesterday, we had almost 15 Assyrians here. 15 Assyrians all speaking Aramaic.
There was hair in the sink when they left. I'm dead serious. Hair everywhere.
15 Assyrians here, right? Just wait.
All shedding, apparently.
10 years. I say in the next 10 years, we're going to get Chicago Assyrians that are going to come here. We're going to get Armenians and some Iruni. La la la, la la la, la la. They're going to move here, right?
PBD, as soon as you start doing la la la,
they're going to start coming. And then all of a sudden, you're going to go to the store, and half of them are going to be Middle Eastern. You're going to be like, it's just, that's going to open up here. But I say it's going to take 10 years.
And the church, we need a Syrian church.
By
the way, PBD, can I give a shout out? Where's Choose Your Enemies Wisely? Where's the book? We don't have it here?
Right behind him on the shelf.
By the way,
there.
you see this year, we got an Armenian.
Assyrians there?
We got an Assyrian flag, but no Armenian flag sent this way.
They never gave it to us.
If they send it, we'll put it back here. But
they're choosing
FYI, everybody knows this. I want to make this clear so they know what happened. We've had at least 600 Israeli flags sent to him.
Yes.
We've informed him.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a small little side business on eBay. Okay. That is not going to go here. No, we're just joking about this. They're going to believe it.
We're an American flag. We're an American flag. They're making this lady their enemy. This is the last enemy you want.
She's not.
A black lesbian making her your enemy? You idiots.
They are.
Yeah. All right.
Shut up, actual woman who's female and lesbian. We're defending the trans dudes.
Okay.
You absolute morons.
So let me ask you a question. How many of you here play Roblox? Who's played Roblox?
No.
Vinny, have you ever played Roblox?
I honestly don't even know what it really is.
Tom, have you played Roblox?
No.
Rob?
But I know it.
My children do, but supervised, but I have not.
You have not. Obviously, you don't.
I've never even heard of it.
Okay. So I'm not going to come to
the only Roblox I deal with is when I'm running late on 95, and you're like, why are you running late? I'm like, it's a roadblock.
Not that roadblock, Adam. It's Roblox.
Sorry, I don't know what it is.
Blocks. Let me read this, and Brandon, I'm coming to you.
Or the pimp can't break a 50.
Okay. So let me tell you, even though if you don't know what's going on, Roblox user accused of soliciting Florida child after parent reports explicit chats. So here's the one thing that's going on in video games that parents are not paying attention to sometimes. Some parents are on top of it. Some are having a hard time with this because it's like, what else do you want me to monitor? So let me read this to you. Florida authorities recently arrested a man accused of soliciting a child through the popular gaming platform Roblox. The arrest was announced. Rob, is there a way we can turn on the AC a little bit like this? I feel like I'm in a freezer
My legs
right
are
now.
numb.
I see Vinny shivering.
I'm like this.
Can you tell them
I'm going to tell a story like this. So Roblox, parents, there's pedophiles on there. I'm freaking freezing.
I hear maracas, but I know there's no maracas.
No,
in
it's
here.
me, Tom.
Guys, I haven't even read the story yet. We're going to eventually get to the story here. So let me start all over. Roblox user, Florida authorities recently arrested a man soliciting a child through the popular gaming platform Roblox. The arrest was announced by the Flagler County Sheriff's Office, FCSO, on November 7th. The suspect, Brandon Rodriguez Silva, 20, of San Jose, California, has been charged with transmitting material harmful to minors by electronic device and soliciting a child for unlawful sexual conduct using a computer service device. According to authorities, Rodriguez Silva allegedly engaged a Florida child on Roblox and encouraged them to move to the messaging app Discord before eventually swapping cell phone numbers. The suspect told the victim that he was 18 years old and lived in California, began requesting nude photographs. The press release read, the messages between the suspect and the child contained numerous sexually explicit texts and photographs, but no nudity. The victim's parents ultimately caught wind of the conversations and reported them to authorities. Fortunately, this parent acted as the sheriff in their home by reviewing their children's message and contacting law enforcement immediately after discovering a stranger was attempting to take advantage of their child. The sheriff said, FCSO said that the arrest was more than 2 years in the making. It took 2 years to get to this point. Okay, so when you look at statistics with Roblox, Brian, and I'll come to it, and I've got a bunch of different things I want to talk about this, but your thoughts on this?
So I've never played the game either, but I wonder why they can't just simply like automate it so that stuff like that can't be spoken about on there, or like it gets flagged if they're requesting pictures, especially those type of pictures, or saying those type of things on there. Because I mean, it seems like a pretty simple thing to do, and it seems like a pretty big liability for the company if that's happening. So that's like my first common sense thought is, why don't they have things in place that could catch that or keep that off of there? And yeah, I mean, I think kids play too many video games. I hear like a lot of people talking about this game. So yeah, both those things, too much video games, and why can't you do the common sense thing of just filtering that stuff out and not allowing it on there? Yeah, Tom, what do you think about this?
Well, I think you don't need Kaspersky, you don't need Norton, you don't need McAfee, you need parents. And I'm going to take you down through this. I was ready for this question. Roblox is catching all the publicity right now because it's open and the private chat features, now we know they've been exploited by predators. But let's go through the list. Minecraft has extensive multiplayer and live chat. In other words, while you're playing the game in an online cloud-based world, it's been a target for predatory attempts. Fortnite, voice and text chat systems have been exploited by adults to get inappropriate contact, and there's multiple cases by the FBI busting predators on Fortnite. Discord, it's not a game, but it's widely used for game chat and game-related chat, and it's been the center of a big grooming case. Twitch, live streaming platform. Kids can stream and interact by live chat, showing their, your kills or your gaming escapades, and they have found that they've actually been able to exploit children through video and chat features inside Twitch. And then the risk mechanisms are simple. If you don't supervise your kid and there's live intercontact available through that gaming platform, then there will be predators in there attempting to initiate inappropriate contact. That's the way it is. Parents need to be stepping up here. And yes, all of the technologists behind Twitch, Discord, Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox, everybody's upset with me. They all need to be putting in filters and controls and do a better job, because law enforcement has found cases on all of them.
By the way, so let me read you a couple of them. So here's a few stories outside of the one we just reported, and some data for you guys to know. 85 million daily active users as of early 2025. That's how many people play Roblox. Wow. 85 million. 40% of the players are under the age of 13, Damn. Okay? And when you look at this, Fairfield man, September of 2024, last year, pleaded guilty to molesting a 10-year-old girl whom he met on Roblox. New York security guard, September of 2024, last year, arrested for coercing an 11-year-old girl into explicit content. California boy suicide, April of 2025, 15-year-old Ethan Dallas allegedly groomed on Roblox Discord, leading to his death. Mother sued for wrongful death. Kidnapping cases, a 27-year-old California man charged with kidnapping a 10-year-old girl, May of 2025, a 37-year-old Illinois man, Iowa man accused of abducting and abusing a 13-year-old girl, ongoing lawsuit. A Delaware man kidnapping an 11-year-old girl, New Jersey, October of 2023. State lawsuits, Louisiana, August 2024, suit for enabling predators in experiences like escape to Epstein Island, Texas, 2025, for ignoring safety laws. Kentucky, other similar to that. Over 35 parent lawsuits allege exploitation, with one firm investigating thousands of claims, Vinny. Thousands of claims. Bloomberg reported 24 Roblox related arrests by 2024, plus 6 in 2025. Roblox has introduced over 145 safety measures in 2025, including age estimation for chat access, banning under 13 from direct messaging outside games, prohibiting image video sharing, and using filters to block personal info. It employs AI moderation 24/7. Human teams, they're doing this, right? Because of some of the cases. In November of 2024, it added content categories and barred adults from chatting with under 13-year-olds and experiences. Roblox denies claim, calling them misleading and appeals ruling. California judge denied arbitration in a father's case. They kept it public. There are so many stories I can tell you with what's going on here with Roblox. 29% of Roblox players are 9 to 12 years old. 22% are 13 to 16 years old. 17% 17 to 24. 15 of users are actually under 9 years old. 15% of Roblox users are under 9 years old. And only 17% of Roblox players are over the age of 25. So this is the part when you're looking at all the exchange and the conversations that kids are having, and parents are sitting there kind of trying to monitor and see what is the real risk that's out there. This is a very different...
That's a danger, Pat. That's a pedophile's
well, they're
dream.
They're number one, and they're taking the heat. But Minecraft, Fortnite, Discord, Twitch, all of them have had the same problems. And the Roblox is taking the heat with the big headlines right now because they're number one and so popular.
I cannot recommend anxious generations to parents enough. Parents, please, I didn't write this book. I've been saying this since when, Tom? This summer, I would say.
I would say almost 2 years since.
Or was it last summer?
Last summer. Oh, my God, it's last summer.
I thought it was last summer.
I've been saying it for a year and a half. Go buy the book. I had Jen read it. Husbands and wives go. There's a reason why it's number 9 in the charts this week. And a book came out a year and a half ago. It's got 10,500 reviews. Go do yourself a favor and buy this book immediately. Read it, especially if you have a young daughter, teenage daughter. Read this. Talk to your kids about it. There's a lot of this that's happening right now that that we need to be having conversations with our kids. It is such a multifaceted. We're having a conversation with so many people around us right now are like all into the homeschooling part. And, you know, more and more and more parents are bringing up why they're homeschooling, why they're considering homeschooling instead of putting the kids in school. Adam, I think you wanted to say something.
No, it's reminiscent of what we were discussing, I believe, on Monday when we did the poll of at what age would you allow your kids to use social media?
Yeah.
And it was like, I think 3% were like, any age doesn't matter.
Yeah, but 18.
And then the vast majority were like 15 or 18 plus. But I don't know anything about Roblox, but this is where social media meets gaming in a virtual world. You could also interact with people online. It just seems very, very dangerous. By the way, within the confines of these numbers, does it say what percentage of players or users are boys versus girls? I would assume it's mostly young boys, right? I would assume.
What percentage of users on Roblox are boys versus girls? It's a good question.
Because I know you're going down the ages, but I'm assuming it's mostly young
60,
boys.
60-40?
I would assume it's like 90-10. I could be dead wrong. I don't know.
Wow.
Oh, really? It's 50-50 almost?
Look at that.
Wow. So young girls play this game too? This is dangerous as hell, man.
Yeah. Anyways, keep your eyes out there, folks. Keep your eyes on your kids.
Well, it's tough because of all the two-parent households that have to work. You know, that's a weird thing, too, is that you can't have just one parent working and one parent constantly watching. So I think that's a little bit easier said than done, unfortunately.
That's a good point, Brennan. Also, how about single-parent households?
This is why I believe 2028 election will be about affordability, a lot of it, and will be about, can I buy a house? Can we have one earner in the house and live off of that? Can we go back to somebody staying home to raise the kids? I think whoever's campaigning for 2028, they have to pay very close attention to being able to get that message tight. Truly.
Yeah.
Parties. One of the sides, we know how they're going to be doing it. They're going to give away stuff for free.
Right.
Okay. But I think there needs to be a real intentional plan behind this. I know you have some thoughts. I know I have some thoughts, but we can move on to the next story here. Next story we want to get into is Turning Point USA. Bloody brawl breaks out as agitators protest Turning Point USA event at UC Berkeley in California. Absolutely nasty what happened over there. It's craziness. Rob, if you just want to play some of these clips while I'm reading this, go ahead and play it. Go for it, Rob. Look at this. For what?
Oh, so the guy right there, his name is Jihad.
On the right?
Which guy? You can't make this up. The guy with the gray jacket that they're pulling off. So the guy with the red had his chain snatched and robbed, and he's bleeding. What happened? And see the...
Who's Jihad?
Listen. You're bleeding, white boy. Listen. Racism.
What happened, white boy?
What happened, white boy?
What the fuck happened?
I'm assuming a Latino, Mexican guy talking crap about the white guy. The white guy's the victim. He got his chain snatched
He's
back.
wearing the freedom.
And there's Rob has a video of like a.
What just happened there? Let me read it. Violent Antifa thugs stormed a sold-out event for Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA at the University of California, UC Berkeley. Organizers said with keffiyeh-clad protesters clashing with cops and attendees, leaving some covered in blood. Turning Point USA leaders quickly blamed the bloody violence. This is a New York Post. Violence on the anti-fascist agitators, as footage has showed. Demonstrators trying to break through police barricades after the campus event. For the group was kicking off late Monday. Right now, Turning Point USA campus, tour stop at UC Berkeley. Antifa is breaking through police barricades and threatening our attendees. TPUSA Chief of Staff Mikey McCoy said on X, protesters scuffle with police prior to a Turning Point USA event at UC Berkeley. As the violence erupted, one disturbing clip shot by Fox News showed a man in red. This is the one that we're talking about. Vinny, what happened here?
So Pat, they're having like a rally, and obviously Antifa, which I thought the president of the United States defined them as a terror organization, but for some reason in freaking California and all over the country, mainly California, these guys get to wear their masks. They're openly Antifa. Well, guess what? Mainstream media and Gavin Newsom say it doesn't exist. Antifa's fake. Okay, and the video, Pat, just so you see that video.
Because they don't have a website.
They don't have a website. Yeah, exactly.
Website,
but
so they,
allegedly, this guy,
exist.
the guy that grabbed the, so that's the guy right there, Pat. He's wearing, the guy that was wearing red, he's wearing a necklace. And allegedly, this guy named Jihad, and his name is spelled D-P-H-R-E, DeForales, I don't know. He was charged with assault and robbery after the confrontation. He grabs the guy's chain, runs. The cops arrest the white guy. They arrest the jihad guy, but then later on they release him. But the DOJ saying they're launching an investigation, Pat, but I thought, and they confirmed, Antifa made a plot to ambush the TPUSA event. And also, Andrew Klavan, is that his name?
Andrew Klavan,
Andrew Klavan was on,
from,
I believe,
Daily Wire.
JC Waters last night, and he said that now these leftists are fraudulently grabbing up tickets to the event en masse just to make sure that the conservatives don't attend. And is it just me, or was Charlie Kirk not just assassinated a couple of months ago, and they're still letting this type of crap happen at TPUSA events? And again, what did we just show, Adam? What's happening with California with the men in the women's restroom? This is another example of California, because your governor says that Antifa doesn't exist. This is what they get to do. They get to go nuts. And Rob just showed one video. It's insane, Pat. They were throwing gas. They were throwing projectiles. This is California. This isn't Beirut.
Press play.
Look what they're doing, bro. Yeah, fascists, blah, blah, blah. Look at these losers. Losers. The event still went on, though. And look. Where are we? Where the hell are we? Where are we? Where? You want to talk about National Guard? Trump's doing the National Guard in all these places. This is where you need the National Guard. Okay? If Antifa, by the way, look at the head guard.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What happened to the gangs in L.A.?
Exactly.
But hang on a second. What happened to the tough guys of the 80s and 90s? They would never let this happen.
Yep. What happened?
I don't know if you know what I'm saying. This is such a weird analogy I'm going to give. Do you actually think 18th Street would be with these guys? Do you? I'm trying to think like Toonerville, TVR, or or Black Diamonds, or
Bloods and Crips.
Armenian Power. I don't know if they would. I don't know if they. I don't know, man.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the cartels wiped them out.
Who wiped them out?
I think the cartels wiped out the gangs because they wanted to deal drugs there. If I'm not mistaken,
I don't know if you're going to be able to wipe out all of them, but I think
if they wanted to,
I think they could, but not all of them, because you would have to have everybody there to get rid of all of them. All I'm trying to ask is I went back. I saw that BMW that raced off, right? You know where I went to? I went to Glen Oaks in 1992 when my friends and we would race BMWs like that and RX2s back in the days with the 13J engines. Yeah. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the 13J engine. What I just said is probably only, I guarantee you, less than 0.1% knows what I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about, comment in the chat if you know what I'm talking about with the racing of the old 13J engines on the RX2s. It was phenomenal. They were loud.
Fat. I mean, we know all about this.
Yeah. But you know where I
Roblox.
went? And then I remember as a kid, who was in the streets? Who was wearing the Antifa? Who was wearing stuff like that? That was not us.
Mm-hmm.
That was not us. Like the troublemakers were not. I don't know. Like I don't think that those gangs actually would allow this madness to happen.
Yeah, I agree. I agree because it's their city. It's their city that you're you're burning down the city. You're breaking stuff. You're starting for absolutely no reason. Why?
Yeah.
Because TPUSA is going to go there and talk. But it doesn't surprise me. Do you know the chief of police at UC Berkeley is? Take a wild guess. Yogananda Pittman. She was in charge of the intelligence of the U.S. Capitol Police before and during January 6th.
Wow.
And she became acting chief. She's the one that failed to warn Chief Sund of the planned January 6th violence. That's her. That's her. Weird. It's weird how these they want it to burn down, guys. They want it. Where's the protection for what was TPSA doing? They're going in there and they're speaking at an event. What is Antifa? And by the way,
at Berkeley.
At Berkeley, I'm sorry.
At Berkeley.
And Tom, but you know what drives me crazy? And I'm going to go on.
Same thing that drives me crazy, but preach it. I know where you're going.
Where's the security? Where's all this?
Exactly.
Where's Trump? Like, we're all about law and order. Where's Trump protecting all these people? Like, where are we talking about here? Where is it, Adam?
Did they get kicked out of California, the National Guard, because of the court?
I don't know, but bro, it just drives me crazy. If we're going to go after these people, if they're a terrorist organization, treat them accordingly. And again, every single time, this always goes back to George Soros, Pat. And this guy gets to go around and do whatever the hell he wants, and nobody goes after him or his son who's taking the reins. Why? Why? If we're going to go after them, go after them. I'm confused.
The whole thing with me, this whole Antifa thing, if they were actually anti-fascist, I mean, a good point there. They're actually anti-American. There's only one group of people that are fighting police, burning down cities, burning the American flag, and it just so happens that they're all wearing this keffiyeh thing, which was not even a thing before October 7th when Hamas terrorists went into Israel and just slaughtered people. So it's no different. This keffiyeh thing, as they put it over their head, is no different than the KKK and the right with their hoods. Explain the difference to me.
There is no difference.
Anything on the when the far right was doing the KKK thing and they're burning the crossing, the neo-Nazi thing, we all understood this is not America. But why is this tolerable on the left? Why is this acceptable on the left?
They're letting them do it. Adam, it's California.
It's
California.
They are terrorists. They're domestic terrorists wearing their version of a hood, this keffiyeh thing. And we're supposed to accept them as being, their right to protest. They're domestic terrorists. They should be dealt with like domestic terrorists. That's how it works for me.
I agree. I agree. He already labeled them, so treat them accordingly.
I don't know, man. Tom, that's you, right there. I was like,
what the heck?
Sound keeps happening. Yeah.
What sound was this?
So no, I thought for a second it was your stomach. It's the wire hitting the side.
Breakfast time.
You know what it was. You know what it was.
I'm just
It's
gonna
like
unplug and leave.
Tom, no, we need you. Stay. Brandon, get out of here.
no, but let me tell you, no, because last minute this morning we chose to do 5 instead of 4 because you chose to come back from Nalba last night, and I didn't know if you're going to come back or not. So when we changed to 5 mics, it makes it tougher for these guys last minute to do enough QC. So I don't want to call out our audio guys because only I can call them out hardcore and they get it. But right now, this is last minute.
We
stuff.
love our audio.
So,
guy,
but going back to it, going back to something like this. I don't know. You know, like in families, in every family, there's that one uncle where you know. Say my sister, let's just say, okay, if my nephew is acting stupid,
yes,
and he won't, he's a very good kid.
Sean is the man.
No. But let's just say we've all at some point when we were kids, well, not sometime, some of us, a lot of stupid, right?
Yeah.
But
Vinny,
shot a gun at one of my cousins.
But I'm saying like, but let's just say somebody's getting out of control. It's typically the guy in the family that also is sometimes strong personality, but in moments like this, you're like, thank God I got that guy in the family. You know what? Can you go talk to him? And that guy just knows how to handle it, right? Okay. I don't know, man. I think there's a little bit of the crazy guy living in a community that knows how to check kids in the right way. It was good for us when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Was that best friend's brother that was a few years older who could beat the living out of everybody?
Yep.
Like that guy, we had one of those guys.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
And if, God forbid, he came around,
it's over.
you're 13, 14 years old, like, oh,
He's gonna whoop
guys,
us out.
hey.
Yeah,
You know, it's like,
please.
hey, right? I think watching these guys going out there doing this to the kids, are you freaking kidding me? Are you, like, there's levels to trying to be a tough guy and to being a criminal. There actually is tough guys and criminals that are OGs. Like, they'll come out of nowhere and say, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you?
Yeah. Step
Where are
up,
you,
dude? Step
you know,
up.
there was a bunch of guys on the leadership of Lexit. I don't know if you know Lexit. Lexit is
that the Latino
exit. Yes,
I know Jexit.
These are Lexit. There's some legit people in the Lexit community who have changed their lives. They're accepted Jesus Christ as their savior. So they're but a lot of them are former, gangsters. So I don't know. Like, I almost feel like, I'm not trying to rally or do anything. I'm just saying.
PBD, go there. PBD, go there.
I'm not. I'm just trying to say, if it's in your community, it's your city.
Like when Armenians.
It's your city, bro. Like, if you do this to Armenians will come out.
What happened with the Armenians in Glendale?
They will, bro. Armenians are not regular people. Like, you can't do this to Armenians. You do that in their communities with their kids. Are like, what are you talking about, right? But anyways, I'm just going to keep going, guys. This is like a very weird podcast today. Adam.
Everything's going to be okay. It's not your fault.
You say one more thing, we're going to have a Jexit in here right now.
There we go.
Okay, let's talk a little bit finances, folks, because the only reason we're doing a podcast today is because Friday we won't be doing a podcast this week. That's why we're all together here. So Friday, we're out of town. But let me get to the story here with car payments. Check this out. So more car buyers are stretching out their auto loans, but longer terms comes with trade-offs. And the reason why we're reading this story is because a story on the same exact day, car repossessions trend shows chilling echoes of 2008 crisis as economists warn of more dominoes to fall. So, folks, if you're watching this, you have a car payment, you're going through it. Rob, if you can put that poll, for those of you that buy cars, just out of curiosity, when it comes on to financing, how many of you guys are doing 60-month financing, 72-month financing, 84-month financing, or 96-month financing? Rob, just put the 60, 72, 84, 96. I know some people are going to be like, I pay cash, I do 48, I do 36. I'm specifically interested on this here. Just curious to know how many of people are going to vote.
60, 72,
84. So
Okay.
it's like, I want to finance my car for 5 years, for 6 years, for 7 years, for 8 years, right?
Got it.
So let me read this to you. Car repossession trends. Jake is getting upset in the back. Jake is on 108 months. He's like, shit.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I got a 120-month car finance. I'm paying a payment for another 10 years.
Shoot.
All right. So car repossessions are surging across U.S. as at an increasing number of Americans fall behind on their loans, according to data from Recovery Database Network analyzed by CU Reposition Repo Session. It's projected that over 3 million cars will be repoed in 2025. Okay. This will be the highest number since financial crisis. In the final 3 months of this year alone, the analysis predicts that 820,236 vehicles will be repossessed across the country, and millions more are at risk of losing their cars as they struggle to keep up with payments. The percentage of subprime borrowers, those with poor no credit, who are at least 60 days late on their auto loans, was at 6.43% in August. According to Fitch, is where the number was at. Tom, what can you say about this here?
So basically what's happening is, thanks to inflation, used cars shot up. Remember how expensive they were?
Yeah.
And then specific vehicles that were, say, coming off leases, leases 2 to 3 years, there was a shortage of those, of the ones that were related to higher end chips that were in the dashboard for all the advanced services in your car. Remember that?
Yep.
So all of that went up. And what happened is a lot of people bought those when those used cars were very expensive. And now it's all coming home to roost as the loans are going bad. And also, there's a company called Tricolor. It was a Tricolor Holdings, and it was an empire of basically auto loans and used cars. And what happened? Do you remember The Big Short? This is not math, Vinny.
No, I love the
remember in The Big Short where they talked about, wait a minute, how can the bonds be trading at par when the assets in the bonds are losing value? All of the home repossessions, they went down to Florida.
AAA loans.
That's right. They went down to Florida, and the scene in the movie where they found the alligator in the swimming pool and all the deserted neighborhood. And they're like, oh my gosh, the bonds have to be worthless. Guess what? Tricolor gets a phone call from JP Morgan and says, we need to talk. And they go down to JP Morgan, Pat, and they had a discussion. The underlying collateral, the cars, were worth less than the outstanding loans, and the loans were showing up as defaulting. And so we're seeing the same things here. So what we are seeing right now is that the subprime section of America is having trouble with their car loans, which says that not all Americans are doing as well as the stock market is. And we've got clear signs of affordability issues for the middle class, particularly in subprime and core middle America car loans, as we're seeing here. Default rates, and then a major company goes down.
It's a real thing.
Jamie Dimon saying, I'm not going to help you.
Yeah, so let me kind of give you guys an example how this works. So let's just say you get a $50,000 car you want to finance, okay? You buy a $50,000 car, you put 10% down, which is $5,000, and you finance it at 7%, okay? So the whole thing, we're talking about 60 months, 72 months, 84 months, 96 months, right? If you go 48 months and you finance this $50,000 car, after you put 10% down, which means you're financing $45,000 at 7%, you're making a car payment of $1,078. If it's a 60-month lease on the same car, you're paying $891. Now, keep in mind, Rob, if you go to the story, the CNBC story, and actually visually show this to them, it'd be very good for them to visually see this. So at 48 months, it's $1,078 with $6,724 total interest. At 60 months, $891, $8,400 interest. At 84 months, it's $679, and you're paying what? $12,000 in interest. So an 84-month loan ends up costing you $5,300 more in interest than a 48-month loan, okay? So if you look at this, what is the first thing you think about when you see this?
Bad. I could drive a cool car for $679 and look chill.
Exactly. You want to know something about
That's the payment-based mentality of some consumers.
I tell you, you could really dance, Vinny.
I love that.
Okay, remember, بديل أخونت أويالا قد خدنا تانن قدي remind would get before perkach. أيالا قد لاك خيلك أحكي مهيلو أوديو. Okay. All right, sounds good. So, but my hem zoom in. Yalla.
Achunet Ava.
Help me zoom.
Bruno.
Not Yalu. Not Yalu.
So
not Yalu. Stocks. We're talking stocks. All right, you're serious, you know.
Henry's gonna walk in the room and get upset right now.
Yeah, that's so funny. So to me, which one did you do, Tom?
I always did the shortest car loans I could because my dad always told me, very simple thing. We were a middle-class family. 1,300 square foot house is what I kind of grew up in until we were older and my dad's job began.
28,000 square foot castle back then.
No, but he was telling us, he said, don't pay for it twice. He showed us this. He said, don't pay for it twice.
Great counsel.
He says, keep your car loans short.
Rob, where are you at with this?
Keep your car affordable.
Rob.
I purchased straight in cash.
Have you always been like
straight
that?
Cash?
No, that's
go to when you were
changed.
25, 28.
Yeah, I had a 2007 Ford Mustang that I bought in 2007. I ended up having, I think it was a 60-month loan.
You had a 60-month loan,
Yep.
Vinny. You seem like, by the way, Vinny's such a conservative guy the way he lives.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want to know the most interesting fun fact about Vinny?
We do, Pat.
I'm being dead serious. You ready for this?
Yeah.
He's never had a speeding ticket.
Wow.
Never.
Really?
Never.
How have you never had a speeding ticket?
I've never dealt with law enforcement pulling over, no ticket.
Would you have ever guessed Vinny's personality? He's never had a speeding ticket.
No.
I would have thought
But
he
do you
can
not
love
speed?
it.
Never got. Check
But
the
do you
record.
not speed?
No,
No,
he
I
drives
don't- no.
so
Really?
solid. But go ahead. You were
You know,
saying,
on base, you
what's the
can't mess around
longest
on
auto
base. You're going to
financing?
think one on base.
Honestly, Pat, this is going to bug you out. When I was in the military, I bought a car off of a fellow soldier.
Cash?
Paid cash. It was like a Toyota something, smaller car. Then I bought my motorcycle. I just paid for it, cash. I totaled it. But oh shit, my mom hears this. She's gonna go, oh no. She can't watch this. I just effed up. But no, I never. Everything I just paid. I just paid. By the way, I'm gonna make sure my sister does not let her watch this episode. And then everything was just always cash. I never wanted to have big payments. I always just paid for it.
What about your last couple cars? The
last car,
you had the Toyota.
I don't know.
Toyota hatchback thing.
I don't know. Brandon, how about yourself?
Yeah, cash, because my dad knows a lot about cars and fixes cars and stuff. So he would get cars that were messed up that had a problem with it, and then do a part swap and get like a pretty solid car for a low amount of money. So that's typically the way I do it.
Maybe I'm just wired in a different way. I was just like, dude, I'll go 84 months and I'll pay the 7% because I think I can make 20% of my money. That was me.
It's a dangerous. That's
not for
game,
everybody.
sir.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
No. You're better off going with the 60-monther or the 48-monther. But to me, it was kind of like, listen. I know it's not, it's not, but to me, I'm like, okay, can I beat 7%? I can beat 7%.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was me. I thought I could beat 7%. And but again, that is not for everybody, folks. Don't let me be a bad influence.
Don't do it, guys.
Go 36 months, go 48 months. Or go full on Adam style.
Uber lifestyle.
Uber lifestyle.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're at the end of the podcast.
Can I say one thing?
No, you cannot say nothing.
I'm going to talk about cars.
Nothing with cars.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it right now.
We're going to be here forever.
Here it is. Knowledge for you kids out
tricycle.
there. The most dangerous question that a car salesman can tell you, or even someone trying to sell you, is how much do you want to pay a month? That's how they get
That's
you.
the hook.
Oh yeah, you want to pay less a month.
That's the hook.
Dude, you just paid $100,000 for that $50,000 car over 90 months.
Can I make a quick point? Just real quick, I think that there's two different economies going
No,
on.
no,
There's
Brandon, we're done.
Chef-
We're done with the pause.
I actually have something interesting
Oh,
to say.
you tell that to
no,
him.
Brandon, I guarantee you don't. Go
More
ahead.
than you, but
Brandon,
so
go ahead.
Yeah, there's two different economies going on. Like the stock market looks all good. I know Adam loves it.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I fell asleep. My
Yeah,
bad,
one
Brandon.
would
Go
have
ahead,
been
go
funny.
ahead, go ahead.
So yeah, the stock market looks good, but the regular people, I think, have way less disposable income. I think this is a sign of that. So I think that the whole great economy thing is not so much the case.
You're saying this is between Wall Street and Main Street.
Yeah, and Main
Well
Street's
done.
struggling.
Yeah, that's how they do.
Okay, so let's wrap up the podcast. I do want to do one thing before we wrap up. I want to give a shout out to one of the best looking 12-year-old studs I've seen in my lifetime, and that is Matteo's son, Giovanni.
Gio.
Happy birthday, champ. He
Happy
was at the office
birthday.
yesterday sitting with his pops, with his
awesome.
dad, and I'm like, what a freaking stud this guy is.
He's a great dad, great role model.
No question about it.
forget about
No, it's a byproduct.
Let me tell you, it's the mom, bro.
It's
Relax, dude.
It's the
Relax.
mom. I'm
God
telling
bless
you,
her, but
if you
Mateo's
ever
a
met the
freaking
mom,
G.
She is, though.
Mateo's a
No,
G.
no.
She's awesome.
She is.
And that coming from a real mother.
She is. She is. Giovanni, you're a stud. Your future looks bright. I can't wait to see what you're going to do with your life, man. Excited about your future. Anyways, having said that, today's what? Wednesday? We will not be doing this again till Monday. We'll miss you. Have a wonderful weekend. We're going to a weird state this weekend. So pray for us. We're going to a state called California this weekend.
God.
man, be careful.
Seriously?
We are.
With Antifa and the
Don't get
LGBTQ?
safe out there, PBD.
We're trying to go save them. We're gonna try to save them and recruit some over to Florida. God bless everybody. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.